Is a charm actually.
Yeah, is a charm going to be an all-star in this matchup?
Yeah, doing a lot of work. Let's see. Now he doesn't have mana for Cryptic.
No, but he does have a Desolate Lighthouse,
Yeah, great
which is
card.
excellent in these kind of grindy control matchups where he can now sculpt his perfect hand.
Yeah,
Like Kurl's very happy with just passing, drawing and passing, drawing and passing. For anyone that doesn't know exactly, Kurl's deck is Scapeshift, and his goal is to resolve the card Scapeshift, which in turn lets him sack all his lands, bring in Valakut the Molten Pinnacle,
yes.
which says if you control 5 or more mountains, deal when a mountain comes into play, if you control 5 or more mountains, deal 3 damage to a target. And he's going to search for 6 mountains. Each mountain will see each other, and they'll all get to trigger the 3 damage,
Absolutely.
dealing monstrous amounts of damage.
Usually you only need to 18. Because of various shocks and fetches, people are going to deal damage themselves. So Kirill just like, no, I'm going to bolt you down.
End of turn Electrolyze. He just wants selection. He knows that Electrolyze isn't going to be killing anything.
And that is a thing that the deck can do. The deck can potentially. This one doesn't play lightning bolts.
So Glennon letting the Search for Tomorrow resolve, thinking he needs to fight over other things. If he remans that Search for Tomorrow, there's a chance his opponent goes Sakura Tribal there into Scapeshift, you're dead.
Yeah. Which is
just a quick note for the folks. Life total is 16 apiece. Life total is not that important in this matchup until the Scapeshift actually resolves.
Yeah.
The key number is 18. If Glennon can stay above 18, Kirill will require an extra land. He can't go off at 7. He would have to go off at 8.
But with Glenn's mana base, that's just not feasible.
No, it's not going to happen very often. It's probably something he doesn't have to consider either. He just wants to leave open all this counter magic.
Yeah.
And here's Naked Snapcaster, because Glennon has to get a clock down. He can't just let Kirill, sculpt his hand.
Absolutely.
And he's probably close to discarding. Getting that card out of hand for free is probably pretty good, that use of mana. So he's thinking, has he missed he's passing the turn, and he's missed the 4th land again.
Yeah. His total
He's lighthousing here by Kirill.
5, 6, 7, 8, 16,
Considering on his discard, just gets rid of an extra fetch hand. And 3 mana, he's going to repeal. You don't see this very often. Bouncing the Snapcaster Mage. And a remand on the bounce of the Snapcaster Mage. Not a sequence you see very often.
And he found another land. Glenn is playing 25 lands, which is a lot by modern standards.
By modern standards, yes. It's not unreasonable that he missed a few. I think he kept Scapeshift, and that remand maybe. I don't think Glennon's winning anyway. He's way too tight on mana, and Kirill has enough mana there to go Scapeshift double counterspell.
Absolutely.
But a weird time to choose to remand.
So here's what Glenn is going to be bringing in the sideboard. He has 3 Engineered Explosive, 3 Torpor Orb, 2 Shadow of Doubt, 3 Rakdos Charm, 1 Pearl Lake Ancient, and 3 Monastery Siege. So Monastery Siege is excellent because it means that each individual trigger of Valakut for the 3 damage, Kirill will have to pay 2 mana, making Scapeshift.
Is that you and?
Yes, you and creatures you control.
That's very interesting.
It is. And he also has the 2 Shadow of Doubt. Shadow of Doubt is a card from Ravnica, which is black-blue hybrid, an instant. Players cannot search the library this turn, draw a card. So, it's pretty much another counter spell for...
it's not only a counter spell. If Kirill doesn't play around it, it makes Kirill sack
Sakura Tribe Elder or fetch lands.
It can be a Stone Rain as well.
Absolutely. A Stone Rain that draws you a card. Shadow of Doubt says draw a card as well.
Yeah.
I really like it. Torpor Orb, that only stops creature triggers enter the battlefield.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, so that doesn't stop the Valakut.
No, it won't.
I'm not a fan of Engineered Explosive. I think it's just the 2 Shadow of Doubt and the 3 Monastery Siege, and that's good. Those are 5 stone cards that...
You choose how many to sacrifice on Resolution with Scapeshift, correct?
On Resolution,
correct.
Yes.
Yeah, so he can't ever Armageddon him with his own Scapeshift.
Unfortunately.
What do we have on Kirill's side?
On Kirill's side, we have 1 Vandal Blast, 1 Croson Grip, 1 Feed the Clan, 2 Obstinate Baloth, 2 Anger of the Gods, 2 Dispel, 1 Negate, 1 Counterflux, 1 Batterskull, 1 Teferi, 2 Rending Volley. Kirill's been a big fan of this Teferi, and so have we. He played it once against I think Dan Gilligan, who was playing the Gifts Ungiven deck. And this is perfect against Glennon's type of deck, where just all of his spells he wants to play at instant speed. Now, they're not as good because Glenn has a lot of kill spells, but he might be taking those out, seeing that Kyrill's playing Scapeshift.
He's probably taking them out. The big deal about it is you gotta play the spell at the end of your opponent's turn. He can choose to kill it. If he chooses to kill it, you've choked him on mana again.
Yeah.
Like, Kyrill is very... With his combo, with his Scapeshift only costing 4 and him needing 7 or 8 lands to go off, he frequently has 2 counter spells plus Scapeshift. The problem is, if you ever do that, Kyrill is down so many cards, it takes him a while to get back going.
Yeah.
But if he can choke you on mana by making you commit to killing that Teferi, because you can't do anything on his turn anyway,
yeah,
it's going to be difficult.
It'll
be difficult to fight him in a counter war.
It'll hopefully buy him a free turn.
Especially with these dispels and these counter fluxes coming in as well.
Absolutely.
Negates, dispels, counter fluxes all seem excellent in this matchup. In fact, it's a shame that Glennon doesn't have any kind of creature or permanent is usually what you want. Like, he has the Monastery Siege with something to put pressure on. Like, that siege is good, but Kyrill has time. Like, you don't want to be giving the Scapeship player time.
Well, Glenn in his main has 2 Wormcoil engines.
Yeah, but they're slow threats, and they're threats that can get cryptic. You really want stuff like, an excellent example is Kitchen Finks.
Yeah.
A card that he can't kill with electrostatic... Electrolyze. And if he has them, he doesn't have them, but a lot of builds have Bolt.
Yeah.
And a card that just keeps attacking, keeps your life total up.
Well protected,
yeah.
Sure.
But this seems like it's still going to be difficult for Glennon, but he has a couple of good cards out of his board. That Monastery Siege is definitely going to be annoying.
Yeah.
Does Kyrill have the Echoing Truth? They usually have the Miser's Echoing Truth.
No, none on the side.
Anything to kill an enchantment?
No. Does not look like
it. Could be troublesome then. He's relying completely on his counter spells to keep these Monastery Sieges off.
Does Cross and Grip only kills artifacts?
No, Cross and Grip will get it.
But I don't think he's going to be bringing it in against Glenn. Maybe
I think it's a free. I think he's a game up and it's a free sideboard slot. The chances of these decks not having a permanent that interacts with you is very low. Whether it be Leyline, whether it be Blood Moon, Siege. I think you're always just bringing in, like, Blood Moon is something you could be afraid of this board.
Out of any deck that plays right.
So Krill's turn to mulligan this time, going down to 6, and I think Glennon keeping his initial 7.
Unfortunately, Glenn cannot play Blood Moon because he only has 3 basics.
Yeah, Glennon's decks is greedy, but then again, the Grixis Delver decks have very greedy mana bases at the moment, and they still get to play. They still play their Blood Moons.
Not this greedy.
No, not this greedy.
Not this greedy.
Well, they only play like 1 swamp. The Super League, the standard Super League was playing Modern, and a swamp got ghost quartered out of a Grixis deck, and he didn't have another swamp.
Genius.
And he was just off of black for the whole game.
Great.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to give a shout out of Glenn's deck while Kirill takes a mulligan. He has 4 Demigod of Revenge, 4 Snapcaster Mage, 2 Wormcoil Engine, 4 Lightning Bolt, 4 Remand, 3 Terminate, 4 Electrolyze, 3 Cryptic Command, 3 Colligan's Command. He's gone up to 3. Wow.
That's a lot.
1 Tameo, which I love.
He's a big fan of the Tameo.
Yeah, 3 Damnation, and then a very assortment of lands, namely 1 Lavaclaw Reaches, an Urberg. Those are the only ones of relevance. The rest are just all as fixing a lot of filter lands.
The action is underway here anyway. A Lavaclaw Reaches start with Glennon, and he has no problem with his mana in this game into a tapped Watery Grave. Fetch here by Kyrill. Flooded Strand. Suspect the card is going to come into play tapped here, and he's not going to take the full bolt.
Yeah. A key side of Kyrill's deck as well is how many mountains he plays, because if he cannot fetch 6 of them with his Scapeshift.
Oh, I saw Batterskull, by the way, getting flicked through. It looks like Kyrill has brought in the Batterskull for the long game in the contingency plan.
Yeah, I really like this if your opponent thinks to take out all of their Terminates, things like that. Although, Colligan's Command, excellent against Batterskull.
It is excellent. He didn't see one in game 1, and it's good. At least he has an answer. Kyrill's not going to be able to run it out turn 5 without getting punished. At the same time, I think that card's in there to be played on 8 mana, not 5.
Yeah. Now, Kirill only has 10 mountains in his list, and this is a problem because if he naturally draws 5 mountains, Scapeshift becomes unplayable.
No, you can still play it. It just won't do enough.
Oh, you just get Valakuts.
You don't have to sack all your lands.
Yeah, no, I get that, but it's just you won't get to instant kill them. It's no longer a
You can sometimes. You can get double Valakut. It depends on their life total. Life total is relevant. It's going to be the downside of Glennon's mana base here. He thinks that he can actually take 13 damage because the Scapeshift is always going to kill him.
Sure.
But it's actually quite relevant to the amount of mountains Kirill has in play. Saying that, it's very hard to know exactly how many of these lists on. Anyway, on to turn 3 from Curl, and simply another pass, as we said, exactly what he wants to be doing in this game. If no one's playing spells and he's shaping his hand, it's all good for him.
Yeah. Fetch from Glen, getting a tapped Watery Grave, end of turn. So now, at this point, if he plays another blue source, untapped, he will have Cryptic representing, which is always going to be the big card in this one.
Just nice card advantage to be getting. Whoever utilises the Cryptics, I think Glenn's going to be able to. There's a Demigod in his hand though, so playing this island means he's still two turns off a Demigod unless he gets a filter land.
Definitely representing the Cryptic command.
Another fetch here by Curl. Lot of shuffling in this format.
Yeah.
Gotta love those fetch lands, but if you're not on Modo, they are taking up a lot of time in the matchup.
So if for anyone who doesn't know, Demigod Revenge is 5 red and black hybrid mana cost.
Yeah.
And he's a 5/4 flyer.
5/4 flyer with haste.
And with haste, okay.
With haste.
And whenever you cast it, return all other Demigod of Revenge from your graveyard to the battlefield.
Yes, and that is a trigger. So the old trick was, if your opponent counters it before letting that trigger resolve, that the one that was countered will also come back because the trigger is still on the stack. But we're at a level of event here where a judge might call that back if the opponent didn't know the interaction.
So Glennon just flicked there. He's got 2 Cryptic commands in hand, so he must be feeling pretty happy. Although
Cryptic is good, but Kirill has
just past turn. Colligan's command though. So now Glenn is thinking, do I 2 him and make you discard a card?
No, I'm thinking.
But it's not enough value.
A play here.
He is.
Oh, he is.
2 you and discard a card.
I don't know if I agree with it, but it is definitely a line to go to. That's also
not great.
I don't know. I don't know the rest of his hand, but discarding a random card.
I feel like he's got an Electrolyze in hand. I'd probably get rid of that before getting rid of one of my Dispels.
Yeah, another play there, line by Gannon, could have been maybe to Curl running out a naked Snapcaster here, try and put some kind of clock on Gannon. Another play there could have just been to Cryptic to bounce that Valakut that had to come into play tapped.
Absolutely.
Or one of those Steam Vents, and that way he's short on blue mana the turn after.
Wow, he's Crypticing the Snapcaster and bouncing the land.
That's fine. Like bouncing the land might necessarily be right. You might want to draw a card, but Kirill doesn't do much on on his turn that he cares about without 7 mana.
Yeah.
So that Cryptic is pretty safe, and it's a good use of his mana. He's not he's running out to Demigod here.
And what this does as well is the bouncing the land. Really, it takes a huge amount of pressure off because it's like, okay, I just bought myself a turn where you have to play a land.
Well, it's also kept him very much off Cryptic mana.
Yep.
Cryptic might be one of the only counter spells along with Counterflux that's able to deal with a Demigod.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the others are stuff like Dispel and Spell Snare and stuff to win counter wars, not to deal with a 5/5 flyer, and Krill's under some real pressure here.
Absolutely. Glenn, I feel like playing this very well. I think actually Cryptic Bounce is pretty excellent. So now
there's an argument for also getting the Valakut that definitely had to come into play tapped opposed to option.
And he's just done 10 damage with this Demigod. I mean, that pressure you were talking about.
7 mana up. Krill's mana hasn't come together that well. Like, just a lot of mana up to be fighting these counter wars, even if one of his counter spells costs 4.
Another Electrolyze there from Glenn. He's just really on this burn plan. He's like, I can do it.
Glennon's still on 19 here, and apparently Kirill just on 6. Cryptic, is he bouncing or tapping? Let's see here. Glennon able to Cryptic back.
And Dispel
here.
And
it's just a tap as well.
Okay.
Which is fine. Oh, here's the anti-scape shift card, and now we saw that Kirill doesn't have the echoing through. Glennon doesn't know that for sure.
Surely you bounce the Demigod.
Demigod has haste, but
it still costs 5 mana. You know what I mean? I think bouncing is correct.
Bouncing might be correct there.
Especially because you've got no other way.
There's always the fear of if Glennon somehow kills his own Demigod or bounces it with his own Cryptic, you won't be able to draw your card.
Sure.
There is that, but I would agree. So that was really good sequencing here by Glennon. With the Monastery Siege in play, he no longer cares about the scape shift. Kirill has to have exactly Echoing Truth or some explosives, maybe scape shift, and we know that neither of them are in his in his deck at the moment.
He only has Crossing Grip, which he probably didn't bring in, like I said.
Like Glennon knows that these things like shoot, grip, cards like that are one of. They're not a 2 or 3 of on the board. So I think he's saying the way my hand is constructed, I'm not going to win the counter war, but I am going to take my chance on just having this monastery siege in the game.
We just saw Kirill. He's got the escape shift in his hand, and he's just like, I can't play this. It does nothing.
This is exactly it. Yep.
Now he does have double electrolyze, so he can kill the demigod.
He can attempt to kill the demigod, but he can't, because that's also targeting.
Wow. It looks like with monastery he used the draw ability. Yeah, he used the draw.
I think you've got what Siege done. Siege's spells, not abilities, doesn't affect escape shift.
Okay, I thought it does.
No. Okay, no, that's much better. Then it's kind of strange for Kirill not to go for it there.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Glennon is on 19. Maybe he just can't do enough. So he's just missing a land drop. No, he has a land in hand.
And Lava Claw reaches coming in, so he's going to electrolyze the demigod.
A charm. That's not.
Oh, charm. Sorry, double charm. Okay. Yeah, maybe Kirill wasn't confident in being able to protect his escape shift, but with double charm,
I think he just didn't have enough damage with escape shift.
And game. Yeah, he pumps the Lava Claw reaches.
Very sorry about that mistake, guys.
I was fully sure it was speller ability. Okay. Then yeah, he probably shouldn't bring that in. Like,
no, it's still fine in these matchups. What I originally thought it was for, until I thought it was abilities, is that it can, it just lets you go through your deck better than the escape shift deck. The problem is escape shift is very good at setting up its double counter spell escape shift hand, and Glennon just wants to
have 3 counters effectively.
Yeah, Glennon just wants to sculpt his hand to fight. It also is a nice interaction with the demigods.
Yeah.
So if he can ever go turn 3 land this, next turn discard the demigod, get back a demigod when I cast my own, it's pretty strong.
I feel like if I was Kirill there, instead of throwing away that dispel, I would have thrown away an electrolyze or something like that.
Maybe it's hard. You mean is a charm, not electrolyze? Sorry.
At that time, I think it might have been electrolyzed. I could be wrong.
I don't know if he kept them in. I didn't see.
Doesn't matter. Maybe I would have thrown away the is a charm, because the dispel is so valuable. It's just 1 mana counter spell. It's such a big deal.
It is. He seemed to value his life total to an extent there. He knew that countering it, like maybe if he was considering discarding the dispel anyway, if his line was to discard the dispel anyway, it is right just to counter it instead.
Yeah.
Just not take 2 free damage. But I'm not sure what his
other hand. What
the rest. I saw that he had, and it is a charm or 2. I'm not sure if the rest of his hand, or how he was going to set up that escape shift. He might have had to keep a certain massive lands and search as well as the problem with it.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Any other deck would be okay with just being like, yeah, sure, I'll get rid of one of my lands. That's fine. But with escape shift, they're like, I need to hit all of my land drops. That's what I need to be doing.
Yes, for sure.
It's a bit telling as well that Kirill not finding any Sakura Tribe Elders at that point. Such an efficient card.
He might have taken them out.
Yeah.
There's a chance. The thing in this matchup though is they can peck in for 1 a lot.
Yeah.
They just peck for 1 until you need the mana.
Absolutely.
But you don't know. It's hard to sideboard with the escape shift deck because you don't want to take out too many of these Search for Tomorrow Sakura Tribe Elder effects and just end up going all the way up to just 7 mana not chain escape shifting.
Yeah.
It's a way to go. I don't know if that's correct. It's hard. They're hard decks to sideboard with. Where Glennon's deck, at least, there's a lot of
flex spots.
Well, there's a lot of dead cards. Let's face it. In this matchup game 1, there's a lot of dead cards that don't do much that he needs to take out.
Whereas a lot of Kirill's deck is very core cards.
Okay. So, looking at their opening 7 here, Kirill probably has chosen to go on the play.
Yeah. Glennon's Snapcaster, Colligan's Command, Remand. Is that Cryptic as well? And a bunch of lands.
Well, they've kept because Kirill's playing his first cards. Search for Tomorrow off a Forest.
Best turn 1 play they can do. Besides, maybe Serum Visions. But I think Search for Tomorrow is better.
He's missed his trigger on the search.
Yeah.
Glennon's let it happen. That's fine. Again, at this level of rules enforcements, that's never going to be.
Yeah.
Only Forest here by Kirill, and that could be a problem. This search probably has to get a blue. Yeah. It means if this search is remanded, it's a genuine problem.
He has a Stomping Ground, but I mean, that's pretty good because I mean it means Kirill is a million miles away from Cryptic.
He's a million miles away from Cryptic. More importantly, double blue is very important to reach for the double counter spells.
Yeah, he's got the Remand and Dispel in hand.
Yes. I want to say Obstinate Bailout, but it's hard to see the art.
It is Obstinate Bailout.
Obstinate Bailout gains you life. Lets you race. Also, against Colligan's Command is absolutely excellent. If Glennon ever fires off this end of turn Colligan's command, Obstinate Baylock gets to come in.
Yeah, which is probably what Kirill did. Obstinate Baylock, if you have to discard it, you get to put it onto the battlefield for free.
And here is the blue problem solved. Secretary Balder coming into play with Suspended Search again.
Yeah.
Onto Ganon's turn 3, untapped Dragon Skull Summit. We might just see another passing of the turn. End of turn, sack of Secretary Balder by Kirill, and we're going to see a blue source here almost for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
He can't rely on that search resolving.
Mm-hmm.
That might be picked on with a few remands to have fights over. So you really have to get your blue here.
Absolutely. And yeah, this Colligan's command, this might be a serious danger.
We know Glennon is a very big fan of firing that off for 2 damage in the discard, or 2 damage and get back a snappy. So he might be made pay for it now.
In some ways, a worse Blightning, but
yeah. Now we also don't know exactly how much of removal Glennon's taken out. We haven't seen it terminate since game 1, and that Obstinate Baylock might be a genuine problem.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. He's putting the Colligan's command to the front. Here we go.
Oh,
no, the daggers. This is going to be a problem.
Yeah,
and he's announced
point, 2 at you, discard a card.
So instead, I will gain 2, sir, and there's an Obstinate Baylock on the field. This card has been the blight of Ganon's Magic the Gathering career, all the way back to Blightnings bringing them into play as well.
And he's just looking at his hand like, none of these are kill spells.
Yeah, I can see an Electorize in there. I can see a couple of land drops. I can't make out everything. There was a Remand. I think there was a Snappy.
So how does he string this together? Does Obstinate Baylock have trampled? No,
it's just a 4/4.
Just a 4/4.
Just a 4/4 that gains you 4 life.
That came in for free.
Yeah. And he's in a lot of trouble here. Not only is he going to have to
deal with scape shifts, he's going to have to deal with this Obstinate Baylock.
Yeah.
And he's got a bunch of lands in hand. He's kind of flooded.
Yeah, we're getting a word from our spotter here. 3 terminates and 3 damnations now in Glennon's sideboard. He's going to have to probably double burn this Bolt plus Electorize into a Blue Mage's mana.
Do you know what? He could actually just go Tameo. If he drops Tameo...
Tameo for sure helps, but Tameo is a 5 mana sorcery.
You're right.
That's very dangerous against Scapeshift. That's anticipated and very quickly chosen a card there that we didn't get to see. This is all happening at the end of Glennon's turn, and in Kirill's upkeep, Search for Tomorrow finally resolves.
Yeah, gets a land, and he's going to probably be able to play his 7th land drop as well. So
yeah, and only one of his mountains used up so far, and Glennon not having a good time there.
He's just like, everything's gone wrong. Electrolyze, you don't say 4 damage, you say 2.
Yeah, maybe he'll consider again before wildly throwing those Colligan's commands around.
Yeah, jeez.
No, it's
well played by Kirill though, bringing those in, spotting the Colligan's command.
Yeah, even without the Colligan's command, he's a consideration because he's a threat. He's a threat. He's a cool card. He gains you life. He gives you time. He's a threat that they're going to bring out a lot of cards for. Sometimes they just have to counter him when you run him out turn 3 in this deck sometimes. Yeah. But yeah, good heads up play here by Kirill. In for 4, and this is a great game. He's attacking on 2 fronts. Kirill can just keep passing the turn with he has Remand Cryptic Dispel in his hand.
Yeah.
And he has enough blue to cast a bunch of them.
He's just
going for it with the Remand Dispel. Glennon only has 4 mana.
Glennon have no counter spells.
Well, Glennon also only has 4 mana.
Yeah, the fact that Glennon's not just tapping out and going counter spell means he doesn't have it. He's
searching. We saw at least a Remand in his hand, so he's going to go for a Remand. That's probably going to get, I imagine, remanded back because he only has 2 blue sources.
And then dispelled.
Just to make sure that there's no real wrong way of doing this. He can do it the other way around. Dispel this and then remand the second spell that's played.
I like your way though of just making sure that he has no more mana.
Yeah.
If he's going to try remand once, he'll try it again.
Yeah, exactly. So, Snappy. So this is just going to be a
Snapcaster remand?
Yeah, Snapcaster remand, and it's going to be
quickly dispelled.
Remanded or dispelled, it doesn't matter. This game, unfortunately for Glennon, is over.
So all the gone dispel. Wrong. There we go. GG.
He's probably going to make him search. Why not? It's game 3. You got time.
That time can be spent getting a lovely burrito around the corner. Because right now we are in Gamersworld in Dublin. 1 Jervis Street. So what I'm actually going to bring up now, as this game
comes to a close,
we are well on our way through our third season of the league. Still loads of time left though. There's 7 weeks left.
This one's on whenever the release of the next course.
Yeah, Magic Origins.
Yeah.
So we have an invitational happening in the shop, which
sorry, the handshake there.
Yeah, absolutely. Good play from Glenn. So we have the Invitational League coming. That's in October, I believe, after Battle for Zendikar gets released. And what's happening is we have the current league for Dragons of Tarkir and the league for Magic Origins. And if you come first in any of the leagues we have during the week, which is Modern on Wednesdays, Standard on Thursdays, Draft on Tuesdays, or Sealed F&M, then you will get entered into this league, entered into this invitational. Now, what this invitational has, Gus has set this up in the shop. The prizes, I think, or the money pool for this tournament is currently at €1,000.
Yeah, so far.
Prospect of going up to €2,000 by the time this fires. That's a lot of money going into this tournament.
A lot of money for just coming to your local shop and
he's
playing.
And he's also announced the formats which we're going to be playing, which is Standard and Modern are the two constructed formats, and we are going to have a Modern Masters rotisserie draft.
Yes.
Which I'm so excited about. That's excellent.
Yep.
And a Battle for Zendikar rotisserie draft. Hopefully that draft format's excellent. I'm quite liking the Modern Masters one. But so if you want to get your chance of getting into this invitational, you are going to have to come here, Dublin, Gamersworld, on those nights of the week and play. Win your spot. There's also a few last chance qualifiers that are going to come up.
Anyone that can't come for the date of the invitational is going to drop their slot, and they're going to be put up in these last minute qualifiers.
Absolutely.
And there's also guaranteed 2 slots, one for each, but it's looking like 2 or 3 people from each of the qualifiers is going to qualify. Probably we're looking at top 2 at the moment. We'll see if someone qualifies for this Pro Tour. It's on the same weekend as the Pro Tour.
Might have
unfortunately, yours truly, Dave C, mightn't be able to make it.
Still dreaming.
But a lot of money being put up by the shop here to help its local community.
Absolutely. So to get any more details of that, if you find Gamersworld on Facebook, you'll be able to find all the details. They're regularly posted, regular updates, and if you like that, it'll all come through your feed. Also at the same time, go on to Serious Business on Facebook, find us there. You'll be able to join that group. You'll get updates on whenever we're doing streaming. If I remember correctly, there's a Legacy PTQ coming up soon for or GPT coming up for GP Lille.
GP Lille, yep.
So we'll be streaming that, I assume. We also do all the pre-releases. We're here every Wednesday doing Modern, and we're hoping to get the Thursday standards set up soon enough, as soon as we can.
We're getting a lot more competitive. A lot of players coming for the big prize pool that comes with Thursday nights. 3 packs per players.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, we're looking, if we end up getting 20 players for it, you're looking at more than half a box for the winner of each Thursday, which is insane prize pool to be putting up.
Absolutely. When the entrance fee is €11.
Yeah, and that's €1 going towards the end of year prize pool. Again, you're paying for your own invitational to be more.
Absolutely.
If it wasn't enough that there's probably a couple of free things. There's talk of t-shirts and maybe play mats.
Yeah, which is
really
exciting.
Up. A Modern Masters draft for just showing up. A Battle of Zendikar draft for showing up. They're also adding major prizes for probably the top 2-3 players.
Absolutely. Now, I am still trying to get people to sign a form that the winner will get a title belt. I don't know if that's going to happen. Probably not, but I can dream.
I don't know. I'm a bit more of a $1 billion man here. Just give me the money. You can keep your titles.
But you get a $1 billion belt. What if you got the $1 million man belt? Just the money belt.
It's appealing. It's appealing for sure. So we're going to see if we can get Kirill
absolutely
in here and ask him a bit about his sideboarding. Because as a lot of professional players have wrote about this format, one of the major things is sideboarding. I think Kirill got it very right in that matchup. Bringing in those obstinate Bailots. But he's coming in now, and we'll have a chat to him.
Yeah.
So, Kirill,
how you doing?
Congratulations on your victory there.
Cheers.
So, what did you think of the matchup going into it?
My deck list is wrong, The matchup I played against Derek a ton before, so I knew the matchup. It's like it's a slow burn deck. So
Yeah,
that's how you see it.
yeah, I see it as a slow burn deck because he can't do much.
Yeah, were you expecting the demigods?
No. That was a new one.
It's an interesting threat against you because we noted that in game 2, a lot of your counter spells are set up to counter spells. Yeah, not actual creatures.
Yeah.
And this 5 mana haste guy came down and he kept you off cryptic mana and it was trouble.
I punted really hardly there with the fire breathing because I completely forgot the black man land had fire breathing.
Yeah.
And I had the 2 Izzet charm, so I could just like charm that.
Was it not possible to go off the turn he passed? Was he on too much life?
He was on 19.
19, yeah.
Yeah, so he was one life too high.
Yeah, we thought so.
I had the consideration of looting with my Izzet charm and hoping for like an elder, but then I would not have enough mana.
Sure.
So,
Sure, that's true. And did the Obstinate Balots come in after game 2, or were they always?
I always bring in him against him because he
Yeah.
plays Call Against Command. It's a good gotcha card.
Yeah, he's very aggressive with his commands as well. He's a big fan of just making you discard and dealing you 2 and starting that slow grind and maybe getting one with a Snapcaster. He's not one to
he
wait
doesn't-
to get maximum value off it. He's fine with dealing you damage and
So that's why I always put in the Balots because I knew he doesn't play Skullcrack, so all that 4 life is much better against him than against the burn deck.
Yeah,
and then I
that's true.
put in Batterskull and Teferi, so I can put in Teferi and lock all his instants down and just like sit there relaxing. He'll have to use burn spells on my Teferi, so like most of the cards I sideboard in were just life gain spells in one way or the other.
That sounds
okay.
awesome.
Well, thanks very much. Very good sideboarding, very good win.
Yeah.
And we wish you the best for the rest of the games.
Absolutely. Good luck in the later ones, man.
Okay, and it looks like we're going to get another match here. I'll find out what match they're going into. But this is Simon McConnell and Gabriel Ramon. We're going to have a look for their deck list here for you. I know Simon is on Abzan Little Kid, they call it, isn't it? The Wiltley Liege version of it.
Which is still excellent. I really like it.
Yeah, it's just, it has a lot of 4s in it. It's only the Noble Hierarchs to try and get them out fast. Has the Lingering Soul package. We're going to try and find out what game they're in. Just bear with us for 1 second, folks.
Sorry, it's is it
Gabriel.
Gabriel. Okay, so he's playing
Is it Gabriel or Gabriel?
Gabriel.
Gabriel.
So
Sorry.
he is playing Death and Taxes.
Death and Taxes, awesome.
Modern Death and Taxes.
Usually a legacy deck adapted for modern.
Yeah.
I don't think this is the matchup he's looking for with that type of deck.
No.
He's not looking for a Lingering Souls, grindy Abzan deck. He's looking more for blue decks.
Combo decks, kind of things like
combo blue decks. Not decks that just run out Siege Rhinos for sure.
Absolutely. So his deck is actually 1 Anafenza, 4 Birds of Paradise, 4 Aether Vial, 3 Thalia, 4 Restoration Angel, 3 Scavenging Ooze, 4 Path to Exile, 4 Leonin Arbiter, 1 Achroma Angel of Fury, 4 Blade Splicer, 4 Flicker Wisps, 2 Avon Mind Sensor, 2 Gavany Township, and then a bunch of lands. 2 Stirring Wildwoods as well.
I think Simon's on the draw here and a mulligan down to 6. This is the game 3.
Yeah. Simon's been very unlucky with mulliganing with this list. But we've seen him on screen. He's mulliganed down to 4 in 1 game. So I mean, like, it is
against
something
certain
he could do.
decks. Like
You play a Lingering Souls and
Lingering Souls, Siege Rhino are cards that certain decks are individually soft to, you know.
yeah, absolutely.
And that's just good enough to get there a lot. Lingering Souls, basically like you didn't mulligan either. Oh, Simon's on the play. Apologies, not Gabriel.
Lingering Souls, so good. I always go on about it. It's just excellent. Such a good card.
And let's see if 6 is any better. It's hard to see here, at least in Abrupt Decay, which seems like it's going to be pretty good in this matchup. A lot of targets for it, including that Aether Vial, which can be hard to deal with.
Yeah.
And
very
straight
true.
off the races here with Noble Hierarch for Simon.
Aether Vial helping with that thing, which a lot of times in Magic, if you're casting 2 spells a turn and your opponent's still casting 1, you're usually getting way ahead.
Exactly.
And Aether Vial helps with that.
So here we get a sack of a Marsh Flats and an untapped Temple Garden into a Noble Hierarch by Simon, putting him straight down to 17, as is quite common in Modern. It's almost that's what you start on.
Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, would you start on 17 life for having perfect mana? Probably.
Well, Simon's still off perfect. He decided not to get an Overgrown Tomb there. So that indicates that he might have some white spells in hand and is afraid of this Noble Hierarch maybe dying. I'm not sure. The green-white deck, though, obviously doesn't have a lot of things to actually kill.
Yeah, Gabriel
Noble
with the
Hierarch.
turn 1
It's because he just has basic swamp in hand. That makes a lot of sense.
Perfect.
And we're looking at a turn 2 Lingering Souls here.
Which is...
Or, no, he's going for a 2-drop.
Going for Voice of Resurgence.
Voice is fine. Makes Pat a bit weaker. You know.
Pat a bit better. Oh,
as in,
sure.
There's no upkeep Pats coming here from Gabriel. He's gonna respond to that Leonin by searching.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Leonin Arbiter, a card that makes you pay 2 extra to search a deck, a lot better on the draw, on the play than it is to draw.
Absolutely.
On the draw, you can see it coming. You've already done your first search or two, and usually then you even have the mana to pay for the search. Where on the play, sometimes can be absolutely backbreaking.
Yes, absolutely. Card I quite like, especially like good against Scapeshift, good against.
It's just good against fetch lands in this format.
Decks with fetch lands.
As we've noted, just a lot of shuffling in this format.
Absolutely.
A lot of searching.
So
Draw here by Simon.
Getting down the
Swamp.
mountain and not his Razor Verge or his swamp and not his Razor Verge thicket.
Maybe the black is relevant here.
No, sorry, it's not a Razor Verge thicket. It's a.
It's a fetch anyway.
It's a heath.
Yeah, and here come the Lingering Souls.
Here come those souls.
Send in the clowns.
Absolutely. So if he can somehow get a Gavany Township or a
Township or Liege are both very big here.
Yeah. Ghost Quarters here.
Gabriel already falling behind quite fast. This 2/2, while again on the play, and still some nice interactions with Ghost Quarter and the likes, is just gonna fall behind quickly.
Now we see here that it's Anafenza.
The new addition from Dragons of Tarkir.
Anafenza the Kintry. She's a 2/2 for 2 with.
Oh, sorry to interrupt. We saw the interaction here. Arbiter not as great, but the Ghost Quarter acting as a wasteland basically.
That's awesome.
With the
Ghost.
Arbiter.
Yeah, that's so good.
Sorry, you were saying Anafenza.
Yeah, so Anafenza, whenever another creature comes onto the battlefield, whenever you cast another creature,
enters the battlefield, it's not cost.
Are you sure?
She triggers off Collective Company.
Wow.
Abrupt Decay here on the Arbiter to make sure there's no more of these wasteland shenanigans. Simon's having none of it, and turns on his Windswept Heath.
But yeah, whenever a creature enters the battlefield, yeah?
Yep.
Are you sure?
Yep.
You bolster 1.
Yep.
Whenever a creature enters the battlefield.
Non-token creature.
Non-token creature. Okay.
Or Lingering Souls in her would be a thing.
It would be like insane.
Yeah, Lingering Souls just makes 2/2s instead.
Yeah.
So are we going to see a crack here for an Overgrown 2, maybe into a flashback of his Souls? Or maybe Simon playing a bit more passively and keeping that Souls... Yeah, keeping that Souls in the graveyard as a contingency plan.
Did we see what his last card is?
No, I don't think we've seen it yet.
Okay.
Tap Temple Garden into a Scavenging Ooze. Ooh, maybe playing that tapped wasn't the best idea. Maybe playing eating the Lingering Souls would have been a line to take, but preserving your life when you're getting attacked every turn is also important. In for 2 here from Anafenza.
So he gets to make it a 3/3. I actually like leaving the Temple untapped because at this stage now it's a good blocker against Voice Resurgence, because if Voice Resurgence wants to swing in, it'll get the Exalted trigger by itself, but then you're already fronting how much damage you get to eat a thing.
Yeah, this Scavenging Ooze is going to be problematic if Simon doesn't have another
Abrupt
Decay or a Path to Exile in his hand.
Yeah. I don't have Simon's list with me right now to know how much removal he plays. I know for a fact that
there is another Abrupt Decay in hand. This is why Simon didn't flash back the Lingering Souls. It's strange that Simon didn't just pop it off at the end of turn, but maybe waiting for options. It's actually biting him pretty hard that he didn't do it at the end of the turn, because he drew a Will to Leave Leech for his...
Yeah, you want maximum mana efficiency every turn.
Yeah, so he's going to swing in for 4 here. Now we might see a flashback Lingering Souls that he's not holding up any mana. We do. Next turn we're looking for a Will to Leave Leech, which is basically going to act as a massive overrun. He's going to make all those flyers, those 2/2 flyers you see there. He has to tap his mana. Just 1 second.
Tap his mana for...
Just telling the spotter.
Yeah. Tap his Noble Hierarch and...
Yeah. It's just an update on the life totals. It's 12 to Simon and 9 to Gabriel.
This is a card that's coming out of the sideboard, and that is...
Still Moon Cavalier.
Still Moon Cavalier. Protection from black and white.
Old sideboard beauty. And it gets a counter as well. He can gain flying for 2 black.
I believe so. And doesn't he have...
He has hybrids, man, and he has a bunch of abilities. One of them's gain flying. He has protection from green and black.
No, it's black and white.
Black and white, his own colours.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, and a township here. So Will to Leave Leech might come into play.
But Gabriel does have the town quarters. Or the ghost quarters.
Ghost quarters. So you want to get to use out of the township now, I guess. Is the thought? No, he's just going to go for the Will to Leave plan. Either line is good. The Will to Leave adds another 4 power to the board as well.
Yeah. I think if I'm Gabe, I use the township to blow up the. I use the ghost quarters to blow up the township.
In for 8 here. Oh, it already has flying.
Excellent.
It already has flying.
So he gets to block, and he's like, "Yeah, I take one of those dice." I believe Gabriel has a Restoration Angel in hand, which is why he's kind of a bit wary of blowing up the township, because he wants to have that Restoration Angel. But are you winning if they ever get to use township? I don't think so.
Not with this. The problem, there's a lot of problems here for Gabriel. It looks like he was considering giving it flying, and he didn't. He didn't.
Yeah,
he wants to keep that ghost. That I'm not sure why. If he didn't use Ghost Quarter at the end of the turn, I'm not sure why he didn't give flying. Oh, it would cost coloured mana to give. To give flying.
1 black, 1 white. Now,
so Gabriel took.
And he's seen.
Forgot. Gabriel forgot to play for flying. Here our spotter's telling him he already took the damage and then forgot that the creature could gain flying. Unfortunately, that put Gabriel. Either way, in a very bad spot. That attack put Gabriel to 1. At best, that attack could have put Gabriel to 3 instead, and then you're having the whole team come crashing over with maybe a township activation next turn.
Yeah,
that was very tough. Anytime this little kid that goes turn 1 Noble Hierarch, you're in trouble.
If they have anything that costs 3 mana on turn 2, it's usually
excelling into 3 drops, having your Voice of Resurgent attack as a 3/3. All good plays here. This again, as we said, Gabriel winning one of these games. But this matchup, not a matchup he wants to see.
No, he's got a bunch of hate cards specifically for it. I think his best thing is maybe like Blade Splicers, and
anything that 2 for 1s is going to be good for him in this matchup.
Yeah, even Mind Sensor's not bad. He just got him. Didn't find the right cards. He had Linvala in.
Okay,
I get that.
Anyway, our producer's telling us there's only 5 minutes in the round. We're gonna load up a different clip.
Yep.
Until then, so we're going to have a 5-minute break, and we're going to be back with round 2 of Gamersworld Wednesday Night Modern.
Good stuff.
I don't know. Thank you. Which is unfortunate. So just kind of standard issue starts at the moment. Sean, just passing the turn again. Turn 3, what are we getting?
Another leyline.
Another leyline. So they're teasing him at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. If his next draw is a leyline, I can imagine Dan being extremely angry.
Yes.
I believe Thoughtscour, the flashback cost on it is 1 black, 2 colourless, so he'll be able to go back here.
I think he's fetching now anyway, so we'll see what he's going to be fetching for.
I'd like to apologise as well to the chat. We currently do not have any way of reading the chat right now.
Well, we can take it that it's all good messages of love, hope, and prosperity for the human race.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
That's often what I see in Twitter chat anyway.
Twat.
Twat. It's my first time commentating. God damn it!
No, I'm saying that's a good enough thing to call Twitter chat. No offense, Twitch chat. Anyway.
And the numbers of viewers we are losing is astronomical at the moment.
So we see as well here that the main thing that's telling is Dan, try not to lose as much life from his lands as possible. Just if he can stay above 18, it makes it so much harder. The Scapeshift deck has to get to 9.
It's
8. Sorry,
it's 8. It's that 1 turn more. Oh, so hang on, just a straight gifts.
Yep.
Turn 4 gifts ungiven. Let's see if this works out. So we do have the Cryptic in Sean's hand. So he's also got a Snapcaster in hand. So Sean is very comfortable playing this Cryptic command at the moment.
Excellent about this? Dan is just like, yes, untap, slam Leyline of Sanctity.
Yeah, he's very happy about this. Even if Sean gets rid of this with an Echoing Truth, then...
I want to bring in Echoing Truth. It's just a Cryptic again.
Well, again, you were talking about next leveling each other. So,
he's he just had this soul read on Dan.
Yeah. And a next level think of Echoing Truth would be really, really good.
Yeah.
Also, Sean does have the Snapcaster, so he can essentially go Snap Cryptic.
Yeah.
So they're both relative. I think they both think they're strong at the moment.
Although the thing is,
so we are going to be going into a longer game here. There we go. There's a second Cryptic command, and he's bouncing the ley line. I'd imagine Dan lets.
If I believe he has a dispel.
Oh no, he does. He
absolutely does not let this happen.
All right,
we have a war.
Dispel.
And there's a Cryptic for Dan, because he's just feeling like
big turn there, big counter war. So we get the 2 dispels, 2 cryptics going off. Dan stacking them up nicely for us.
Yeah.
So
it's very synergistic.
I think ultimately Dan wins this counter war.
He does, yeah. It's very symmetrical. But
yeah,
like you said, Sean does get to set up next turn for a end of turn Snapcaster Mage, Cryptic Command, bounce your and then set up for the Scripture.
Dan could very well have a Snapcaster Mage. In fact, I think Dan does have a Snapcaster Mage in hand, so we might just see a similar line of play happening again.
Wait, hold
this
on.
time with Snapcaster.
Does he have a Snapcaster?
I'm not sure.
I think he has a Leyline and Unburial Rights and 2 lands. Which isn't great. He's That's racist. Wait, which people?
And welcome back to Modern and Gamersworld. Here on the right we have Shane Downs, and on the left we have
Adam Betts.
Shane playing Affinity as always, I suppose. Did he change this week?
He's been playing around with these different deck lists. He's been trying to find like a twin, but Adam Betts, he's on
Patriot Control.
Well, he calls it American Woman.
American Woman.
Get away from me.
Patriot Control. A bit Sean McLaren-esque. He has Geists on the main deck. He was telling me Astro Angels.
Yeah, absolutely.
Geist not well placed against Shane, but a card that's decent in the meta at the moment.
Yeah.
Looking at opening hands.
Keranos in the main. In the main. I like it. Oh, yeah, that's nice.
If you're bringing it in every game, why not main deck?
His hand's decent. It's got a Path Dex on a Lightning Bolt.
And here the game's going. We get a Footed Strand and a pass into a Dark Steel Citadel from Shane. Slow start, no turn 1 play by the Affinity player.
Yeah, if everyone with Affinity player goes turn 1 land go, I like just a bead of sweat just drips off my head. I'm like, oh, thank God.
Well, 2 mana is very important for Adam here. Getting stuff like Helixes, he gets to only take 1 damage maybe for his Bolt here if he has it in hand.
Absolutely.
Remand up now in case it's just a Ravager next turn for Shane, and this is exactly how Adam wants to start the game on the play.
Yeah, he's got double single mana removal in hand. I assume he's going to take a little bit of damage to set up having both of those open.
And Shane, forever the showman.
What?
Just giving the thumbs up to, I suppose it was the camera, but I don't know.
He loves the camera.
Maybe our producer Alex. Okay, we're getting with turn 2 here for Adam. Hard to look at his hand. We see a sea. No, another Flooded Strand, not a Sea Coast in the hand. He's going to lead with that. That's probably a passing of the turn. Yeah. We're going to see a lot of this from Adam.
Absolutely.
Blinkmont next is the second land for Shane after a draw into a Steel Overseer. Now, probably choices here. You can let it resolve. This seems like a pretty juicy Remand target though for me.
Yeah.
No, he's just going to bolt it.
Okay. Does he have a Remand in hand?
I thought I saw one, but I could be wrong. It's hard to see the angle.
Sure.
Another fetch, and here, really importantly, has only taken 2 from his 3-color mana base so far, getting to get another Jewel Land into play tapped. No fear of any kind of wasteland. That's not a legal target. That was a super false. No fear of any kind of wasteland effect. No fear of a Blood Moon from Shane out of the main deck. Can just get his full Jewel Lands.
What I'm actually interested about it is, I really want to know what Shane's hand is to keep something like that, because I think in a regular play, if you've got 2-3 lands and 4 spells, you're like, cool. But
a Geist, an aggressive Geist.
Wow.
Very aggressive Geist here. But with another Bolt in hand, Shane mightn't be able to set up a block. Oh, and he's been punished for the aggressive dice. Yeah. Geist, here's an Etched Champion. And double Dark Steel Citadel, meaning
Metalcraft is on.
Metalcraft is on and will not be turned off.
Yeah.
This means that there's probably not a viable attack here. And being able to see Adam's hand, maybe if he doesn't have counter magic, he's thinking, get this Geist out here. There's only a couple cards. Yeah. There's only the 4 Etched Champions in the deck that actually punishes Shane.
I think the most aggressive play Adam could have here is if he goes land, swing with Geist, Restoration Angel to protect Geist, get you for 4.
This is definitely a line he could take. There is also if he doesn't have that line, he just has to pass the turn. It does mean this Geist kind of stops the Etched Champion from ever attacking, you know, unless Shane is just gonna throw cranial plating on it. But I don't know if he's gonna play that cranial plating into 3/4 open mana.
Do you know what?
Ooh, aggressive attack, and he's just that was just a 4. Yeah, he's just using them as 4 mana burns, 3 mana, 4 mana down.
3 mana burn spells.
3 mana burn spell for 4.
That's awesome.
Expensive Boris charms coming to the head here, but again, tapping out and letting Shane resolve cards is dangerous business. And a medley of 2-drops here by Shane and Steel Overseer and a Ravager.
Yeah. Do you know what? We thought that Adam was in a great spot, and just Shane's hand has really taken it down.
Well, I think it comes down to Adam maybe not having any counter magic in hand and wanting to put a quick clock on Shane, finish it before he gets board presence. But this Etched Champion, as it does many times, to put a spanner in the works.
That champion is attacked.
Does Shane mind taking 6? We don't know. He has a lot of artifacts and playing a Ravager. That Extra Champion might just be taking home the game.
No,
pass a turn by Adam.
That's very telling.
Adam very scared of this Ravager. And that Overseer already making it a 3/3.
Thoughtcast. Let's reload. Give me those 2 cards.
1 mana divination, thank you very much.
Seems like a good rate.
Good rate. So if my calculations are correct, we have Adam on 16 and Shane on 16. Second Ravager is probably going to get a response to Spell Snare here.
Shane's like, yeah, that's fine.
It was very dangerous having a second Ravager on. It's 2 more counters for the first Ravager to pass along. Another 2 mana. If this is a plating, he's in serious trouble. No, third Ravager, also a problem card.
And Adam lowering hands like, oh, really? Are you kidding me?
Oh, it's 14. Sorry, I got the left titles wrong there. 14.
Yeah, because
Adam and 16.
Because Adam fetched.
Adam fetched twice and took 1 hit from Etched Champion, though, right? He should be on.
And took a shock. One of the shock lands shocked him.
Oh, his third one shocked him. Yeah, you are correct. 14 to Adam.
And yeah, he's just like, I've got this path deck, so it's kind of bad.
It's kind of doing nothing because of those 2 Darksteel Citadels. The Etched Champion is always going to be.
And this is going to force the Steel Overseer to tap,
and it's going to be eaten by the Ravager. That Pat not doing much, unfortunately.
So Shane should notice. This is all in response to Ravager, and going to get eaten by the other.
Yeah, so the first Ravager doesn't get 2 counters to march it over.
Absolutely.
Because I haven't done the maths, but that could have been lethal. So tapping 1 mana for Mox Opal, Spring Leaf Throw, and now it's time for some maths. There's 3 damage already on the Etched Champion, double attack. The attack is free if it's decided to come in, and just taking the damage, 6 more damage, and I believe that's Adam down to 8.
Yeah. So how does Adam get out of this? It feels like what Shane did was he was like, okay, I don't have a lot of explosiveness in my hand, but all of these cards are very powerful, and with Etched Champion it's very hard for Adam to deal with. Yeah,
so Shane could have taken the route of sacking nearly everything and putting Adam down to 2 there.
Yeah.
But what's the point? That Etched Champion's getting there. Those Ravagers are a contingency plan. They're foolproof. There's nothing that Adam can do in that situation.
Yeah.
And we thought Adam was very well set up, but no counter magic in hand and having to tap out for that guy's
just very tough.
Very tough. You can't fault him for the play if that Etched Champion was going to resolve no matter what, you know?
Yeah. So Adam in the sideboard, he has 1 Kataki War's Wage, 1 Stony Silence, 1 Supreme Verdict. How do you feel about that? I like that. He's got 1 Anger of the Gods, which I also like. Or is that 1 or 2? He's kind of mixed all of these up. 1 Batterskull, 1 Dispel, 1 Counterflux, 2 Wear Tear, 1 Tech Edge, 2 Relic of Progenitus, 1 Combust, 1 Spell Snare, 1 J Spellrun. I imagine this sideboard has probably changed a little bit. So he's going to be bringing in Wear Tears though, Kataki and Stony Silence.
For sure, there's the common cards.
Absolutely.
And then there's a lot of cards there that I could see coming in.
I like Anger.
Yeah, Angers can be good as well. Stuff like Ravager sometimes make it not as...
Even Supreme Verdict I like as well.
Supreme Verdict might be a bit slow, and I think if you're going that route, the anger might be better.
Sure.
But Supreme Verdict is also good. Like an answer to X Champion is nice for this deck because this deck does struggle with the X Champion. I would say the rest of the cards, besides the obvious Katakis and Wear Tears, kind of depend on Adam's main deck. How many of those cards are dead? How many cards are slight upgrades?
Sure.
None of these deck cards are strict upgrades, but for example, we know Geist of Saint Traft is very bad in this matchup.
Yeah.
And he definitely wants to take it out.
He's got 2 Cryptic Mans, I don't want them. He's got 2 Mans.
Cryptics are okay. Like,
they tap down the field, sure.
Yeah, they tap down the field. They're a small consideration because, like, is Supreme Verdict better? Yes or no? We don't know. Like, there's small margins here
Straight
that have
up,
to be
yes.
made. Straight up, yes.
Straight up, yes.
Not even considering. So there's always obvious sideboard against Affinity, and then I think you have to look at your deck as a whole and decide. You know.
He has 1 Sphinx's Rev as well, which I probably want to take. Definitely want to take out. No problem.
Sphinx's Rev is also, and then here we're getting a shot of Adam's sideboard, and it's slightly different than what he has on his list.
He's got an Erois. So he's taking out the Galvanic Blasts, the Thought Casts, putting in the Spell Skites and the 2 X Champions, and what's
Blood Moon is the last card. Cool. So Miser's Blood Moon. The Welding Jar, an interesting choice because saving stuff from bots, but again, not getting around stuff like Verdict if he brings it in, not getting around Pats, not getting around Kataki. So in comes Kataki, Wear Tears, a Tectonic Edge, and I think that Anger as well. I saw there.
He had Erois in the main and Kernos.
Take 2 gods in the main. We did not see the Erois.
Yeah, no, he has it here. He's got Erois. God of. Yeah.
Let's see if we can get the text on the Erois up, actually.
Erois, if he's my commander, I know what he is. He's a 7/4 for 4 mana. 1 red, 1 color, 1 red, 1 blue.
He's a god, so
colors.
he needs to be activated by 7 devotion.
7 devotion. Where attacking creatures you control are not dealt damage, cannot be damaged this turn, and they have to be blocked by 2 or more creatures.
Oh, that's interesting. So it's mainly to combo with your Geist of Saint Traft.
Yes.
Which interesting combo.
Yeah.
Obviously something Adam's trying to test out. I haven't seen it in many other lists.
Yeah. Turn 3 Geist into turn 4 Erois seems pretty sweet.
Yeah, unkillable Geist is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. But obviously not very good in this matchup. Would have been good in that game, we saw it. But spending 4 mana to make an unkillable something that Affinity is worried about.
Yeah.
As always, I think Affinity loses percentages in game 2 and 3 here.
Yeah.
Always has to fight a bit harder. Wear Tears are a pretty big game. Like, there's already so much removal in Adam's main deck that these multiple use removal spells like Wear Tear being able to hit nearly anything in Shane's deck are just so useful and backbreaking. But again, Affinity has this diversity of threats that's really hard to deal with. It's why things like Anger and Supreme Verdict actually aren't that good, because you leave them at lands. Sometimes Ravager moves counters onto something, and with Anger, and so why these cards are traditionally good against aggro in general, Affinity gets to dodge them to an extent.
Yeah, mostly with the lands. The lands are a big deal.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah.
So they're just shuffling up. Adam will be I suppose on the play for this one. I don't think.
I should hope he's on the play.
I don't think he's thinking it's going to be grindy enough to go on the draw. Present and cut, and we're going to get going with game 2. I think I fancy Adam on the play with his sideboard for game 2. Ooh, he's kept the Geists in. Interesting call, but I guess he needs ways to finish the game.
But they're probably just not worse than other things you could take out.
This is also true. He needs ways to finish games. Geist is a very fast clock, especially backed up with removal.
Yeah.
Killing things after the block in such fashion. So we get a turn 1 play this time from Shane. It's Vault Scourge dealing himself 2 damage to play it.
Still not the fastest that Affinity could do, but still fine play.
Yeah. Getting threats down is all he wants. And we're getting Kataki. An aggressive Kataki straight away. Shane in trouble here from the get-go. He took out his Galvanic Blasts, we saw that.
So he's going to protect his land, is he? He's going to see how much land he has.
To be honest, there's no good play here. I think on the draw, Shane is just very dead.
Yeah.
He's going to have to play a land that isn't an artifact. If he saves his Vault Scourge, he's going to have to pay 1 mana for 1 damage each turn. It's not a very good return. And as we said, he doesn't have Galvanic Blasts. We know he's not going to just kill the Kataki here and 1 for 1 or 2 for 1 with it.
Yeah.
he's just going to have to plan his turns from now on with it. Now, top this off with the fact that Adam has a massive amount of removal and things in his deck. Any creature Shane decides to save might just face the lightning bolt or pot.
Yeah. And then you've just effectively 2-for-1 constantly, just by this creature being on the field.
I think he's going to play through it to get some more information about the sideboard plan that Adam has brought forward and see a couple more cards, but this is a losing battle. He plays a Signal Pest off a Blinkmot. At least the Blinkmot can afford to play for something else and still stay out.
Absolutely.
Kataki can get aggressive here as well. That Signal Pest not going to be doing any blocking.
Yeah, which is pretty great. And because this is the thing that the deck can do, they can go Lightning Bolt. Snap Lightning Bolt is very much a thing that all of these decks can do.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is just
Adam considering what land drop to make here.
Also, Adam have one Grim Lavamancer in his
Grim
deck,
Lavamancer are phenomenal against,
which I really dig.
Against affinity decks.
Most of the things that are two toughness or less, you just get to kill them all.
Adam plays Flooded Strand here.
He's got
Still considering his turn. He can think of a lot of lines, but I think his main line is have already won the game.
Swing for 2, pass, have a bunch of...
Again, Shane not having any red mana in play. Even if he did, we know he's taken out at least 3 of his Galvanic Blasts. I don't know if he plays the 4th.
Mm-hmm.
This Kataki looking like it's going to go all the way. So that's 18. Oh, sorry, 16 to Shane. He took the Vault Scourge damage.
Like, sometimes Kataki's no good whenever they actually do go turn 1 or turn 2 my whole hand. Like, it's still fine, but it's just not great.
He's still taxing. That when Kataki isn't good, there was a chance Kataki wasn't going to be good there. There was a chance that what Kataki was going to do was kill 1 Vault Scourge and then get Galvanic Blast, 2 for 1. But as we said, no Galvanic Blast from Shane, there's very little way to get out of the Kataki lock. And here's a Geist, and Adam's just gonna
go really aggressive.
He's gonna put the beats on. He knows he's taxing Shane's mana. Shane's not gonna be able to build up a large board, and this Geist is gonna put some real pressure on him. So the land probably paying for itself again. And this Blinkmot, if he played the Signal Pest, he probably has a plan to keep it around. Otherwise, there's not much point in playing it last turn. Yep, he's going to pay for that Signal Pest as well. Keep all his artifacts around this turn. As we see, Shane starting his turn with a 0-1 and a land, basically.
Yeah, so what's he going to get?
Oh, okay. Mox Opal as well. This will get...
It's going to help this.
It's going to help him get from under the
Kataki. To a degree.
To a degree. Mox Opal is going to pay for itself. There's probably a cranial plating or something coming up here.
Yeah, but...
Ravager is also a way to get from under the lock.
Yeah.
Making a Signal Pest big enough to only pay for the Signal Pest off a land.
Yeah, I believe there was a cranial plating there about to be played.
The cranial plating is interesting as well, because the Mox Opal and the Darksteel Citadel are always going to pay for themselves. They're going to keep the affinity count up for the plating, while you still might have enough mana to keep around the plating, the creature itself, and maybe equip it. And you're hoping to get there. But Adam's presented this very fast clock, and you now have to be erasing the 8 damage that's being presented each turn. Because as we said, second Mox Opal here, and then equip. And we're looking at a swing for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. So that puts Adam to 12.
Like Shane's presenting a race, but is it a race he can ever win?
This is the only way I think he can win. This is one of
he just has to go all out. Okay.
I think this is one of the only lines he can take. Like, because he got the second Mox Opal made this a good play, he gets to equip here. The problem is, as I said, Adam's deck full of removal, 1 removal spell completely shuts down this plan. He has the Blinkmot to try and fall back on, because again the 2 artifacts pay for themselves. But then again, he needs another source to equip the Inkmot. He needs to be paying for his cranial plating. In for 8 here.
Yeah. 2 of Shane's mana sources have to pay for themselves.
Shane is dead next turn. By the way, that's Shane on 8 because he took 4 and now 8. So, and just a passing of the turn. And Adam, if he does have a removal spell, is going to wait for Shane to pay for all his artifacts first.
So there's 2 land in there?
I think there's at least 3 land in Adam's hand. Is he trying to show us that he might not have a removal spell?
So he's paying for the Darksteel Citadel. He's making mana, I think, with the...
Oh, apparently on Adam on a bit more life than I thought. Shane definitely on 8, but Adam on 15. So this is not a race that Shane can win, no matter how.
So we let the Mox Opal go.
Spellskite.
How much does this help?
Now we'll see if Adam is holding that removal spell to stop this from being a race.
Yeah.
That Spellskite anyway doing a great job on defense.
Electrolyze.
And here's the Electrolyze. This is going to be pretty backbreaking. Putting Shane down to... Yeah, putting Shane down to 7 and killing that Signal Pest and netting him a card. Any removal spell here for the Spellskite also ends this game.
Yeah.
Which I think Adams is odds on to have. Even if he doesn't, this race is over. Adam's still on a healthy 15 life. Spellskite maybe being able to pick up a cranial plating next turn, but not doing any serious damage.
Turn 2 Kataki is just... And he's like, yeah, swing, whatever.
Yeah. So I think we might see some sideboarding. After seeing that Kataki, I think those Galvanic Blasts have to come back in. You don't like them in this matchup in general, but... And here's a snappy Electrolyze.
Yeah. Counting up the mana.
Yeah, to finish up the game.
Sure.
Excellent.
Shane can't feel good about that, but Affinity's kind of the bad guy of the format. This thing you always have to respect.
I don't think Affinity is the bad guy anymore.
Okay, maybe not the bad guy, but you know what I mean. It's the deck you have to respect. You have to have the sideboard.
If you think Affinity's a bad guy, you haven't lost on turn 4 to a twin player into 4 when they played into 4 open mana.
You're right. I've never done that. I always beat Twin. I am always playing the Jund or Junk matchup to beat that deck.
So as we said for the previous matchup with those Bailots coming in, sideboarding extremely important in this format.
Yeah.
Not only what you sideboard in, but what you choose to have in that 15. There's such an amount. There's a vast amount of cards that you can have in your 15. There's so many decks that you can choose to beat. Kataki's War Wage is the pinnacle of this example. Being just this card that only affects one deck, but
it really
massacres
wins it,
the deck if you hit it.
Brad Nelson's a big advocate of the sideboard. He says you're not looking at a 60 card deck, you're looking at a 75.
Yeah, this is in all formats this is the case, but I think it's very amplified in Modern with cards like Rest in Peace, Kataki, Stony Silence hanging out in sideboards, the Ley Lines of the Void and Ley Lines of Sanctity.
Yeah.
All these cards that very narrowly hose certain strategies.
We're getting to a point where we almost have more hate cards than the cards that are actually good.
Yeah, there has been voices in the pro community that says that this is the major problem with Modern showing up to a GP.
Is it a crapshoot of what people have sideboarded against?
Yeah, it's showing up to a GP, having a really good deck and deciding not to run your 2 Katakis, and then never being able to beat Affinity.
Sure.
Or having your 2 Kataki, only being able to fit in 2 Katakis opposed to 3, because there's so many matchups you want slots for, and not ever drawing one.
Yeah.
It's just an example they give, and they find that the sideboard cards are very narrow in this format, and you don't have enough slots for all of them.
Sure.
Like in the ideal world, I'm sure Adam would have 4 Ley Line of Sanctities, 3 Katakis, some more Rending Volleys, all these really narrow cards. And I think in the ideal world he'd have
as 4
25.
Yeah.
He'd have 25 sideboard cards, but he doesn't. So you have to choose very carefully what your deck looks like post-boarding.
Yeah, I think people were talking about sideboards going up to like 20 cards as possible.
PV suggested in his original article that they go up to 20. I do not think that will fix the format. I think that would break it more, because then it would get more boring where people do just have, oh, I have 2 slots left over.
Perfect.
Let's jam in 2 more Katakis. I can't lose to Affinity now.
Yeah.
The problem is there's just a lot of narrow strategies in Modern. And when there's narrow strategies, there's not narrow sideboard plans. So we saw Shane going through a bit more sideboarding there. As we said, after seeing those Katakis, probably bringing in some Galvanic Blast or maybe more efficient answers. I don't think he has a more efficient answer than Galvanic Blast.
Yeah, Galvanic Blast good against Restoration Angels as well. If I'm sure Adam has kept them in.
Yeah, good against Resto Angels. Good against Adam's life total.
Yeah,
this is going to be a grindy enough matchup post board, and sometimes being able to just burn out Adam as well.
Being able to have a bit of burst of damage of just 2 Galvanic Blasts to face, that's 8 damage.
Yeah, killing a Colonnade is not beyond that card's great cheater.
So yeah, I really like
getting a look at the opening 7s here. Again, Shane at an angle we can't really see.
I see a Restoration Angel in Adam's hand as well, some lands. Let's see, is he going to show us? the tiniest little thing.
I see an Ornithopter and Etch Champion and some lands at least in the hand of Shane, but we're going to see a lot of his hand right here.
Mox Opal, Ornithopter,
No,
tap.
he needs another artifact. Yeah, he has the Vault Scourge to activate
Let's
that.
see, can he
Mox
get
Opal.
another Latin card onto the field? He cannot.
So here's an argument, a constant argument with the Affinity players. Should have he played that Mox Opal if he knows he can't play a spell? Now maybe he has a blast. Does he have a blast? No, he doesn't have a blast. So now Adam knows that Shane is going to have 3 mana next turn. Adam also has an opportunity to bolt a creature he mightn't have necessarily bolted. Now he always has that opportunity after next turn Shane trying to resolve it, but there's no 1 mana card that's going to interact with that Mox Opal.
Yeah.
So is there a point in having that out if you're not going to play another spell? Maybe not, but Shane is the resident Affinity expert, I guess. So maybe asking him after this match would be a bit interesting.
Yeah. You always have the potential to learn.
So here we go.
Very telling, taking 2 damage. And it's the red-white, so it can represent either Lightning Bolt or Path to Exile.
Or Wear Tear.
Or Wear Tear.
Is it 2 mana off Wear Tear?
For the artifact side,
Oh, it might be Shatter on the Wear Tear
I
side.
think it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I
So-
think it's Erase and Shatter.
I think he is considering what to do. And because that Mox Opal was played, as I said, killing this Vault Scourge to keep him off a definite 3 mana next turn. Now, any artifact land turns that Mox Opal back on, but if you're going to kill that Vault Scourge anyway, why not try and keep him off that Mox Opal mana?
Absolutely.
We'll see here. He's deep in the tank. And he's come to the same conclusion. Because that mountain's already in play, it's basically just a Swords. Better than a Swords Spell Shard.
And what Shane is now going to do is he's going to get a Cranial Plating, tap that Mox Opal, get it onto the Ornithopter, and that Ornithopter no longer has 0 power.
Only three this time. That's one of the weaker Cranial Platings. But Cranial Plating is a problem in this matchup. Another problem here for Shane is no artifact land. If another artifact is blown up, so if there's a Wear Tear here for that Cranial Plating, that Mox Opal is turned off again. And again, this all extends to Shane chose to play the Mox Opal on turn 1 and show that he has availability of mana. I would sound like a bit of a broken record, but I don't think that Adam would have padded that Vault Scourge off turn 1 if he hadn't seen a Mox Opal for the potential for explosive turn 2.
But you're saying now it's only a 3-2. Delver players, they're just like, that's fine.
He's putting a lot more effort than a Delver player
that's
has.
true.
Oh,
There's an edge champion.
No, I don't think this is resolving.
Nope, not even close. That's
if this does resolve, big problem in small China for Adam. But no, I think this is going to be met by is it Mana Leak? Does he own Mana Leak?
yeah,
Or is it
he's
just
got
Remand?
3 mana leaks, 2 remand.
Most likely a Mana Leak. You do not want to be messing around by putting this card back in your opponent's hand. And back in for 3 from Shane, and that puts Adam down to he's taken 9 so far. 3 off his hand, 6 off the Ornithopter.
Mana Leak, a card I'm sure we will never see in Standard again.
We said that the first time it was reprinted. Mana Leak is a fine card.
Yeah, but that M11 was like all over the place. So Adam is just looking at his hand and he seems to be like, what did I do?
Missed the third land drop.
Maybe it's missed a third land drop.
I don't know. I thought I saw a lot of it in his opener.
Yeah, no, I think he still has lands.
I think this is just how Adam. No, a lot of lands. This is just how Adam tanks. This is what Adam tanking.
He looks
like.
just like everything's gone wrong. It's all terrible. But then he just goes, answer, and the game's over.
Yeah, the live total is 11-18 as we thought to Shane. This is not without that X champion. Shane's start not looking as good.
No, it's not.
If Adam's able to shoot off 2, a Wear Tear and maybe a removal spell for that Ornithopter, that Mox Opal not even close to being active either.
It's funny not play. But thing is Shane's kind of leaning a bit on the Glimmer Void.
Yeah. It's very hard to kill all 3 of these. And here we see Adam's favourite play, running out that Geist.
Turn 3 Geist, super aggressive. Does this show that Adam might prefer to be on the draw so that he doesn't make that mistake?
So that's also down to 9. Ooh, Steel Overseer. That creature not having haste but adding 1 attack to that Cranial Plating.
Absolutely. That's what you gotta do.
Oh, Shane, are you considering pump faking that attack? Maybe being able to get another artifact in play here. The thing about Geist is saying Traft as well, it makes Anger a much worse card.
Still one you're pretty happy to play with.
Yeah, 1 more mana and 2 damage for Vault Scourge. Now this plating representing 5 damage. And for 5, Adam falls to 4. Now we're hoping that Supreme Verdict was brought in. Otherwise, Adam has very little outs here to this board state.
when he's got the land, can he rip it? He's just like, oh, what did I rip? Was that another land? And he goes, yeah, that was another land. In the tank or in the trunk? Which one?
This is looking bad for Adam. A decent start by him. That path, a very good player, I think. Knowing Shane's list well and knowing that most of these decks only play one basic, and that mana leak looks very good on that extra champion, keeping that cranial plating pretty tame. But again, that turn 3 Geist being his only real option is not where he wants to be in this matchup.
So if he's got nothing, I think it's you swing in with the Geist. Hope Shane makes a mistake. He won't. Game.
This isn't Moto. Shane can't disconnect, so I'm not sure how, short of a Supreme Verdict or.
He can't misclick. And if he's got Supreme Verdict, surely you just go bam, Supreme Verdict, swing in, Supreme Verdict.
Yeah, short of a Supreme Verdict or an anger here.
I think it's kind of telling the body language where he's just like, here.
I don't know. I don't know if Shane's going to be happy if that much thought was put into just angering away a board here.
No, look, he actually has Restoration Angel. He's got blocks. So
he has blocks. He has time to find his answers, but he might have to shock himself again, putting himself to 2 to get that block.
Yeah.
And putting himself to 2 means just 2 flyers, and the rest of those only blocking 1.
And as well, Shane has the Mox Opal and Glimmerfoy to attach, use the attach ability on the the cranial plating to jump it to another creature at instant speed. So yeah, I don't think Shane will clearly notice that. I don't think there he's got the B token. And he's like,
straight back out of play. Yeah, and here we go, down to 2, and unfortunately, that
he has to pass turn unless he would need to have 2 removal spells to deal with.
Two removal spells can still do it, but
both the flyers, which I don't think he has.
No, I think it's just a Restoration Angel. Oh, Cryptic. Oh, Cryptic is a good card.
Cryptic's good.
Cryptic also.
Galvanic Blast you.
And
GG.
Here comes the Galvanic Blast. As we said, not only good for Kataki insurance.
Absolutely. And we saw the Blood Moon.
Not only good for Kataki insurance, but still extremely good at finishing games.
Absolutely.
Shane Downs staying in at 2-0, so we can presume staying in the lead of the league again. Already qualified this year, but coming to show his dominance in this format.
And this is the other side of it. If you win a league and then win the next one, in lieu of your invitation, because you already have one, goes to the person in second place and you get a box.
Yeah, you get a whole box of product.
Which is excellent. If you actually win a league in Standard, you also get a box.
Yeah, but people don't win leagues in Standard, I play
because you do that, yeah. What position are you in right now?
Second at the moment.
You're in second there.
We're going to get Shane in a few minutes, talk about some of, again, the important sideboarding he did, maybe the taking out the Galvanic Blasts.
He did bring in the Supreme Verdict.
Bringing in the Supreme, yeah. It seems fine.
Tech Edge, I don't like.
Tech Edge is necessary, especially if you're on Supreme Verdict plans. Some of the ways you die is Supreme Verdict and then get poisoned out.
Yeah, no,
so
I get that.
The Tech Edge is fine. Also, bringing in 1 more land if you're bringing in a 4-mana sorcery might be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
okay.
I don't know, but he did get quite flooded in that game.
Yeah.
So, here is what Shane sideboarded.
Well, no, he didn't get flooded. He had.
I thought he had another. Oh no, he had 2 Restos.
I
thought that was another land.
Which is unfortunate.
So Shane showing us his sideboarding there. The Steel Overseers for sure not seeming great in this matchup. Everything able to kill it. Not fast enough. That creature doesn't have haste to start activating. And this is what was taken out.
The Karanos, the Roas, the Wall of Omens, the two Mans.
This main deck does not seem set up for the Affinity matchup. It seems a lot more set up for those mid-range and twin matchups, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Which is fair. I mean, there's a lot of people running around the shop with the...
Yeah. I'm glad to see him sideboarding out his Remand. Remand quite bad against Affinity.
Absolutely.
Not enough people spot that at times and keep them in, and Remand something for it just to be played again that turn.
Yep.
So hopefully we can get Shane Downs, reigning modern champion.
Yep.
Shane Downs in. So excuse us for a second as Eamon goes and fetches Shane. Another pretty critical matchup by Affinity. And here he is. Welcome, Shane.
Hi.
Congratulations on your victory.
Oh, thanks.
How did it feel beating your friend again?
Oh, it's great. That's the best victory, like.
Just letting him know.
We were commenting his main deck not very set up for the Affinity matchup.
No, definitely not. I know he's been experimenting for a while. He's a bit he's not sure what he wants to be playing right now, so he's doing a lot of experimenting lately. Like I'm sure you've seen there, he had the main deck Iroas, which no one plays that, but like it's.
I love the main deck Caranos.
I'll agree with
awesome.
that.
It seems very angled at beating mid-range decks like the Geist into Herois, for example, would be something that's very bad against you, but very good against a lot of the other.
Yeah, I do agree. Like by going to the more creature-heavy version, I do think he sacrificed the affinity matchup, but I feel against basically everything else in the shop, he'd be much stronger.
This usually not a matchup you're very happy to see. I take it for the average build of the deck.
No, when I was sitting down, I was pretty nervous. Like usually the decks are a lot more burn-heavy. Sometimes they run main deck rats. Like in game, I can't remember if it was game 1 or 2. When I was dropping the third Ravager for a turn, I was very hesitant because I didn't want to overextend
into a wrath.
Yeah, like I ended up doing it in the end because I figured, like having talked to him before, that he wouldn't have the wrath. But
he has one.
You've seen a Geist as well, and Geist and Wrath don't exactly.
Yeah, that was my line of thinking.
So sideboarding, very important in this matchup.
Yeah. And
you kind of got caught out a little bit in game 2. You didn't expect the Katakis. You took out your Kataki answer.
Yeah, I hadn't seen a Kataki in a long while. I felt I played around it quite well for a while. Well, as best I could.
You made a plan. Like you didn't. Yeah. You didn't resolve yourself to losing, which a lot of players would. You tried to carve yourself out a racing plan, no matter how improbable it was. You had a line to victory if he was sitting on nothing.
Yeah,
kind of way.
I mean, I feel that Kataki is worse than Stony Silence. In that position, if that Kataki had been a Stony Silence, I would have probably just conceded. Like I feel.
Yeah, you're left with a bunch of 1/1s.
Yeah.
Usually it is, but I can see running some kind of split, maybe 1 Kataki, 2 or 3 Stony Silence.
Yeah.
Is the idea. The point we were making is where Kataki is usually bad is if you would have untapped and Galvanic Blast and only lost as your 1/1, Kataki has actually been quite the bad card. So it came down a lot to sideboarding again. You obviously brought back in the Galvanic Blast.
I did, yeah. I brought 2
in game 2. We were discussing a very interesting line of play. So game 3, you start off and you go Ornithopter, Mox Opal, and was it Vault Scourge?
Vault Scourge,
yes. Vault Scourge. Is there any credence in keeping that Mox Opal in hand, knowing that you're not going to play any spell off at that turn? So what it actually did was change the whole outcome of the game, because Adam then chooses to patch your Vault Scourge knowing you can use Mox Opal next turn, and it did keep you still got to do what you wanted, equip it, but it did keep you off using the mana straight away, if you know what I mean. It kept you off Metalcraft that turn, where if you don't, what probably happens is Adam passes the turn with you with a Vault Scourge and a 0/1 in play, and you just get to go Mox Opal, equip, have an extra artifact in play for my Cranial Plating. Yeah. So it just changes the game slightly. Now he didn't have enough removal for it to matter, dying with double Restoration Angel in hand and not being able to do much. But it not being able to use the mana that turn, knowing that he doesn't have a 1 mana answer to your Mox Opal. Is there any...
Well, I do know, having talked to him before, I've known him to play Spell Pierce in the past, which I could see him possibly keeping
okay,
one.
so you're playing...
No, I'll admit I completely misplayed in that situation, but I'm trying to talk
I don't think it's a complete misplay. I think there is discussion. I think a lot of... It happens a lot in Eternal formats as well, but there's much deeper lines there.
It might force him into thinking he has to answer one of those things on the field. And then when you say threats... Neither of those are really a threat.
Exactly. It actually turned out quite well that he patted your guy because he didn't have... If he had a second removal spell, it would have turned out quite bad for you. But he didn't, so it turned out quite positive. He was never able to take the Cranial Plating off that Ornithopter. But it's just an interesting line. On the draw, there's definite consideration for always playing it on turn 1. But on the play, not many ways to interact.
Yeah, no, I feel I did play that situation wrong. I think maybe playing the Opal would have been better if I had led with the Glimmer Void, but leading with Mountain and then Opal, it just kind of gave a clear sign that path is free, you should do it. I'll agree, like that was a pretty clear signal that was bad to send.
Well, yeah, at least Adam picked it up and went for the Pat play. It meant Pat and Lightning Bolt were both bad for you. But only something slight, and a lot of things people picking up this deck won't see. They will just spill their whole hand of playables out on turn 1 and...
Yeah, that's definitely a mistake. I know I used to do that constantly when I was first playing. Like I used to.
How can you lose?
Yeah, exactly.
I played all of my spells.
I've got all these 0 drops. Who can beat that? People do.
Yeah. People play 2 removal spells, and you're like, oh, it all fell apart.
Okay. Well, thanks very much for talking to us. Still on top of the league, I suppose, because you're 2-0 at the moment.
And I beat McKaylee last round, so firm.
Firm.
Excellent.
Flexing the muscles on top.
Best of luck with the rest of the night.
All right. Thanks.
Okay,
See you guys
later.
later.
See you later. So we're going to see. I presume we try and get someone in for another round. That one went quite quick.
As Affinity does sometimes, very punishing deck.
Yeah. Either one way or the other, which is going to be interesting.
What the interesting thing about this format, I think they're talking to Shane, seeing game one, is the small margins. Slight
Absolutely.
sideboarding error by Shane backfired at him game 2. Sideboarded correctly game 3, but slight mistake of playing the Mox Opal there on turn 1.
Absolutely.
And nearly getting punished, almost. Now, it turned out fine for him, but
Turned out better for him, because otherwise he would have invested in putting the cranial plating onto a creature and then it would have got pathed. Which
it
would have,
wouldn't have. The point is that Adam would have played a tap. There's no way Adam just plays untapped land into... Because then he could just maybe take 1 from the Vault Scourge. And
with Path to Exile, I think you take 2.
You're taking 2 to prevent 1.
Yes.
In that case. I think that's bad.
No. You're taking 2 to prevent 1. That's what you're thinking.
Yeah.
I'm thinking...
But also, if Adam leads with untapped red-white source pass, all Shane's going to do is attack for 1 and then play another trap from his hand.
And that's fine.
I think that turns out better for Shane than what happened.
Okay.
But it's argumentative. Like, either way, playing the Mox Opal on turn 2 doesn't harm you at all.
Yeah.
Playing at turn 1 gives information. And as Shane said, he should have played the Glimmer Void if he's going to play turn 1, because then Path is not actually a consideration. Because excelling your opponent into an etched champion that you can't answer is not something you want.
Sure.
We're just going to get to our producer, see if we can get any other games.
Yeah.
And we're going to go to a bit of footage. Actually, there's no more games that we can move.
Absolutely.
We're going to go to a bit of footage in a minute
Of previous games.
if you guys could just hang on, and we'll be back in. I think there's about 10 minutes left on the round.
Yeah, 5-10 minutes.
We'll be back and enjoy some of these highlights.
Absolutely. Thanks, man. I love her.
Who's this? Liliana the Veil? Liliana the Veil? Yeah. Oh yeah, Liliana's horrible at the moment.
The little kid deck as well, playing the Smiters and the Willy Fleas, just
Who
like
came
Elf
up
was
with
saying.
that name?
I know. Little kid.
How are they getting away with
I
that?
know, a little kid. It's just all big kid stuff. Like it's all...
No. Do you know why it was called that? It was because it's a little kid deck. They're like, I like green white and I like to play all of my big creatures.
And I can't afford Tarmogoyf.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it was. It was like, I can't afford Tarmogoyf, so it's little kid.
Yeah, I don't know.
And that's just why it's called that. Except that now it plays all these hugely expensive cards.
Yeah, I'm still not buying it.
Yeah,
I'm
anyway.
having a laugh at that name, but we'll go on.
I prefer the one Bring Out the Little Kid, where you play Fauna Shaman to search through your deck. So you have to find the little kid. You bring him out. Okay, so it looks like Glenn has a keeper.
Glenn has a keeper, and Gus
Burgess
here
playing
is
today.
on the thing. Yeah, I was just about to go through that. So Gus is playing the big fella, Tassiger the Golden Fang, 2 of in the main, playing 4 Siege Rhino, 1 Olivia Voldaren. Oh yeah, here we go. 4 color Dragon Control. 1 Olivia Voldaren, 4 copies of Tarmogoyf, 2 Tassiger as we mentioned, 2 copies of Scavenging Ooze. They're the creatures in the deck. We have 4 Lightning Bolts, 3 Lingering Souls, 3 Path to Exile, a Maelstrom Pulse, 2 Thoughtseize, 4 Inquisition of Kozilek, 3 Liliana the Veil, Fergus your mana, 3 Abrupt Decays, and then here's the mana base, this should be worth a laugh, 1 Sacred Foundry, 2 Raging Ravine, 4 Verdant Catacombs, 2 Overgrown Tomb, 2 Godless Shrine, 2 Swamp, 2 Forest, Marsh Flats, Wooded Foothills, Windswept Heaths, a Plains, Urborg Turm Yawgmoth, and a Stirring Wildwood.
I love the 3 manlands
This
as
is
well.
hilarious. Yeah, the manlands, yeah,
3
different
mana and
ones.
5 basic lands
Yeah.
for 4 color deck.
Yeah.
The greed
That
is real.
ballsy.
The greed is real.
This is hilarious, yeah. Just random stuff like 4 Fulminator Mages to go along with a Fracturing Ghost in the sideboard.
Inquisition of Kozilek. Yeah, here
Yeah.
we have Gristlebrand, Lightning Bolt, Inquisition, Snapcaster Mage. That Gristle... Yeah, Glenn
That's
laughing
hilarious,
like,
yeah.
here's my
You
Gristlebrand.
can keep the Grizzlebrand. I can't take it, but I don't want to. Yeah, taking Snapcaster here, I think. I suppose if he needs to protect something in his hand from Inquisition, he might take that.
He has
but-
another 1-drop.
I know, he's got a bunch of 4-drops. He's got his Siege Rhinos and his Tassigers. I mean,
Yeah.
Inquisition doesn't hit them, but
Okay,
yeah, he's
so he
taking
might have something he
Inquisition.
wants to keep.
Okay.
Liliana not bad against his hand. So if he has Liliana here, he might want to keep it.
So it's going to be Blue
Plays
Delta.
Fetchlands.
Not going to... Yeah, okay. So he's going to have his Lightning Bolt back up.
Yeah, just in case he needs to kill like a Tarmogoyf. Scavenging Ooze seems fine. The Lightning Bolt is to me. Big giant target that Gus played on his own creature. He of course knew that the lightning bolt was in the deck from Glennon, but I think he's just like, yeah, kill my guy, sure. Next turn I play the Goyf, the actual payoff card.
Yeah. Plus as well, Glenn has to take 3 to do this. I mean,
Yep.
you know, I mean, this kind of nickel and diming, I suppose it is to a win. It does win sometimes. I mean, you just like, the opponent can look at their life total and go, oh,
Yeah.
I've only got 8 life left.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Raging Ravine you.
Raging Ravine, you're dead.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I guess I am. Oops.
Yes. No, this does seem like a matchup where Fergus would be heavily favoured. Well, should I say, the crazy steps he's taken to add every colour in Magic into his deck is favoured. It's the exact type of matchup where doing something like that gives you a big edge.
Except blue. No blue. And there we go. There's the Tarmogoyf. He is a big man.
Oh, he is playing blue. He's playing blue as a splash colour on the Tasigur, so he does feature blue mana somewhere in his deck.
No.
I know he's not actually playing blue mana sources,
Okay, yeah,
but he
yeah.
has the colour blue
It's
in his
there
deck.
somewhere,
It's
yeah.
there somewhere.
We'll give it to him.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, if Gus's Urboard will play a part in Glennon's Resurrection Obliterator plans today.
Very true, yes, very true indeed. Or the Grizzlebrand, the quadruple
But
black.
look, the Grizzlebrand isn't happening. Let's just get over that
He's
right
never
now.
casting that, just ever.
You don't know that. We can dream, Ev.
Like how many Cruel Ultimatums? 2 of, like, that's already too many 8 drops. Like, actually, I think Cruel Ultimatum is 7, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Still though, it's too many cards that cost 6 or more.
But if Glennon's not hitting a land every turn, he's got 4 to 5 cards in his deck that are just a pipe dream. Like, I don't I don't understand
Gus pointing out
Yeah.
that Glennon couldn't get a basic island with his his
True. His
Bloodstained
Bloodstained
Mire.
Mire, yeah. So
So-
Snapcaster Mage going for Inquisition of Kozilek. I hope this is not end of turn, Glennon. Unlikely.
you need that blocker. I mean,
Dat blocker. Oh, the Goyf, of course. The play from Gus was the Goyf last turn. So
and there's a Abrupt Decay Lightning Bolt.
take Decay, let him keep Bolt.
Yeah,
But what's he
yes.
protecting from Rope Decay here?
His Snapcaster Mage, I guess.
That's it. Does he have anything after board that he needs to protect here? Oh, we don't see a sideboard from Glennon.
No, we do. He's
Oh, we
got
do.
4 Inquisition of Kozilek, 2 Erebos, 3
Spreading Seas.
3 Spreading Seas, 3 Bituminous
Bituminous
Blast. Absolutely,
Yeah.
3 Rakdos Charm.
Spreading Seas. Gus
Um,
is playing a ridiculously mana heavy or land intensive deck. Maybe he brought the Spreading Seas in and doesn't want it to get decayed.
Sure.
Okay, that's the only reason. Otherwise, I'm letting him keep that Decay and taking the Bolt. Because that Goyf is going to beat hard here, so...
Yeah, slaps.
I don't know, if my opponent is like, take a turn to Spreading Seas one of your land,
I'm not
you're
saying
like,
it's the best play. But
deadly.
I'm definitely taking the Bolt there, 100%. Like, it's likely that whatever you
Terminate.
let him keep, he's just going to use the kill the blocker and get in, but still, there's no reason to let him keep Bolt. Like, if he attacks, do you just jump once, and then you haven't dealt with the Goyf, and then you still have 3 extra damage you have to deal with? So,
There's those lovely full art terminates.
ew.
I think he's just playing them because he's like, I've got full art terminates, I'll just play them. No murderous cuts for me. None of these more prime removal spells. None of that. Full art terminates.
Yeah.
So yeah, Gus has 1 card in hand. I mean,
we know what it is, do we? No, we didn't see that one.
no, he's 2. Okay.
I was just about to say, if he draws a land, he really wants it to be a Raging Ravine, and there is the Raging Ravine.
Spreading Seas on the Raging
okay.
Ravine.
So he did side in against the Manlands, the Spreading Seas. So
By the way,
nice play. He gets a cycle too.
Glennon is 5/8 of the way.
Another man.
5/8 of the way to Gristlebrand.
He is. True. And Gus probably doesn't have an awful lot in his
Here it
deck
comes.
to take care of it.
6/8 of the way to
Oh
Gristlebrand.
my god, wow.
There's no way. There's no way.
This is
If I get to
hilarious.
eat my words live on TV.
I will be so delighted if he plays a Grizzlebrand and just gets there. It'll be hilarious.
Flashback, Snapcaster, Mage, kill your Terminator dude. Yep, gotta be.
Yep.
Yeah, seems fine. to
And it's
me.
only a planes in hand for
Boom
Gus.
shakalaka.
Oh,
No.
oh
This
wait,
is hilarious.
planes in hand for Gus is all he has left.
I feel like Gus needs to be sanding a Liliana if he draws one here. Does he? Just to
imagine
take
so,
care.
yeah.
Well, okay. Now that he's played the Snapcaster Mage, he probably can't, which is kind of what I was getting at. But if he had a Liliana, does he kind of just need to sand it just in case Glenn draws the 8th mana and just plays the Grizzlebrand?
Spreading Seas on his Sacred
On his
Foundry
white
draw
red,
card.
okay.
Oh, there's 7/8 of the way.
Oh my god.
We're gonna see
We're
it.
actually going to see this.
Will it happen?
Please. This is going to be the greatest thing.
Glennon heralded as a genius.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I hope all the fans at home are as delighted to see that.
I've actually never seen this where your game plan is strictly hard-cast the Grizzlebrand. Like, he's no way to cheat this into play.
Did Glenn not play a land that turn? I don't think he did.
Don't you dare sand lands.
Don't.
That can't be real.
If I was Glenn, I just wouldn't even be playing.
No, he did. You're right. He sanded a land. He actually just didn't play his land last turn. What was he
I assume
thinking?
that was a
Glennon,
mistake.
come on now. We need to see you hardcast this. I'm not sufficiently happy with Snapcaster beatdowns.
Okay, we have a land and a bolt.
Accidentally
Had the
shown.
cryptic command.
Accidentally shown.
I would actually stop attacking with the Snapcaster mate, just so that I'd have more time to play with the Grizzlebrand.
Yeah, it's like just pass the turn with the Snapcaster. I was like, any attacks? No.
Wow, just
So Gus is not thrilled with this.
Gus has about 4 lands in hand, it looks like.
no. Don't electrolyze him. You want to cast Grizzlebrand?
Is it the land? Come on now.
Gus has
Come
a
on
fault.
now. Don't
Land,
slow roll
yes.
it, Glennon. Don't slow roll it, Glennon. Yes.
Go.
Who cares about keeping Cryptic up? This is not about playing the game correctly, Glennon. This is all about hardcasting Grizzlebrand. Come on now.
Do it.
This is going to
Go.
be a first.
Go.
Don't think about it.
Don't
Glennon.
shovel
Don't
it.
think.
Just show
Don't
it.
think. Don't talk yourself out of it. Just slam
There it is.
It's a great
Look at it.
idea.
Yeah.
To the front. Is that it?
He just gets greedy. He wants to keep his Cryptic up.
Here we go.
It's Grizzlebrand beats. It's Grizzlebrand beats. What's he on? He's on 9. He can surely afford to draw 7.
I do it 3 times. Just
Afford to draw 7. Go to 2.
no, he can't because
What?
Gus. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yes. The
Unbelievable.
Grizzlebrand beats.
And the foil black lava reach.
Oh yes.
Oh wow. That's fantastic.
10 out of 10.
Big props to Glennon for hardcasting Grizzlebrand. Even bigger props to Gus for the beta lightning balls over there on the other side of the battlefield.
I feel like-
I think the win is for him there.
I feel like no.
Farm Black Borders.
Ah, no. Okay, I take that win back. Glennon, you actually do win this match.
I feel like lighting up a cigarette. Not gonna lie.
That's so good. Yeah, I need a whiskey or something. A brandy and a cigar. Like that was.
Can't
awesome.
fizzle the grizzle.
Awesome. Awesome. Well done, Glennon. That's probably the first and last time we'll ever see that, so take it in, guys.
This is Grixis.
That was a huge moment.
That is a hell yeah.
Yeah.
Just hell yeah.
Big
there,
moment.
there you go. There's your Grizzlebrand. Took out the abrupt decays and the light, or one abrupt decay and the light, 3 lingering souls.
Yeah.
That's
I guess.
fair. This is I think what Glenn is trying to do. He's just trying to bring together a deck that's like, what do you sideboard? You know, like it's pretty tough to sideboard against it.
It is sideboard against this deck, yeah. I think you just you want more Tarmogoyfs. That's the kind of
Yeah,
card you
yeah.
want in this matchup. You want a good beater with a big. Well, actually, I suppose
So he
he's
should
got
side-
some lightning bolts, but other than that, he has got ways to just straight up kill things. So
Yeah.
he's got Terminates and Dreadbores and that kind of stuff.
Maybe it's enough. Yeah, maybe this is.
This is a hard deck to sideboard against. I'm with you. Like it's quite grindy. You know, if you start going too slow, you just straight up lose the Cryptic Command. Like Cryptic Command wrecks decks that are too slow. You know, so you need the type of card like a Tarmogoyf to bring pressure on these to put pressure on the Cryptic Commands. But
I feel like this deck would lose to itself a lot with those hands that are kind of like a Cruel Ultimatum and Grizzlebrand and a Cryptic Command in hand and 4 lands, and you're like, oh, okay, I have to mulligan.
have to mulligan. I lose to every deck in the format.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, some hands you're just like, you know.
Welcome back to Wednesday Night Modern in Gamersworld. Again, I'm David Murphy, and this is
Eamon Jones.
And we're here in round 3 with McKaylee on your right, with Jund, average kind of Jerry T-esque, I guess, is known for playing this deck.
This was
at the
been
moment.
before Jerry T.
Well, yeah, it's before it, but it's what he's known for playing at the moment.
Yep.
Very close to his list. Notably stuff like a Batter Skull in the main, and he does have his 2 Olivia Valdarn. That's become very common in these kind of lists.
Yeah, I really like it.
And to our left, we have Damien on Junk.
Yeah.
A more classic kind of version of Junk. Siege Rhinos. Does he have Lingering Souls?
Yeah, he's got the Lingering Souls. He's got the 4 Lingering Souls. I don't think he has the Siege Rhinos.
Does he not have Siege Rhinos?
I don't think so.
I thought he played one against me a couple of weeks ago, but I don't know if he's still
Maybe he's updated it.
I don't know. And there we have McKaylee on the play. Now McKaylee is the patron saint of green black.
Black value.
I don't think I've seen him in a couple of years without green black. Every now and again he varies with his Tron deck.
Yeah, he played Tron against me once while I was playing his junk list, and I stomped him. It was great. So right now he has 3 Scavenging Ooze, 4 Dark Confidant, 4 Tarmogoyf, 2 Olivia Valdarn, 3 Liliana the Veil, 3 Abrupt Decay, 3 Thoughtseize, 4 Inquisition of Kozilek, 1 Maelstrom Pulse, 4 Lightning Bolt, 3 Terminate, 1 Batter Skull, and 1 Colligan's Command. Colligan's Command just really popping up in a bunch of lists. It's such a good value card.
It seems to be a bit more popular modern than it is standard.
Yes.
It's a lot more value creatures to get back in modern, I guess. The
Plus
creatures you're getting back are so much more high impact.
Well, there's only 1 red-black deck in standard.
There is, yes.
So you see
an opening hand of Thoughtseize,
Scavenging
Ooze,
Township.
and a Township of note in Damien's hands, but mostly the rest of them land. Maybe thinking he's leaning a bit too heavily on that 1 Ooze for that to be keeping this matchup. But I think I would have considered it. It's tough. It's a close one. Thoughtseize very appealing.
Absolutely. So we see on McKaylee's side of the field, he did have an Inquisition of Kozilek and a Tarmogoyf.
Ideal start in the matchup.
Absolutely perfect. If he's got the mana to back that up, that's just exactly where you want to be. Turn 1 Inquisition or Thoughtseize into turn 2. Tarmogoyf is just
these matchups turning into very grindy affairs. Abzan, this matchup can change whether this Abzan deck has Pat or not.
Yeah.
If it does have Pat, I think it's slightly favoured for the Abzan player because Lingering Souls are so good. If he doesn't have Pat, that Olivia Valdarn is going to take over this.
So it looks like you have 2 Lightning Bolts and Olivia Valdarn as well, a Rugged Highlands, and I'm going to assume a second land.
Rugged Highlands? Wooded Foothills?
Wooded Foothills, sorry, not Rugged Highlands.
Rugged Highlands would be subpar in the format.
Comes in gaming life. Gain 1 life against Burn, man.
Yeah, again, Escape Shift can never deal 21.
There is a mountain, so yeah, we're going to see a
Foothills into a black green, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know, he has 2 bolts, so it might be a Blood Crypt, but we'll see now. Into an Inquisition. And
did you say a Blood Crypt?
Blood Crypt.
Blood and Crypt?
Yeah.
Okay. The gangs get together.
Yeah.
So has anyone made that altered art? They really should. So yeah, Damo's side of the field, we see Liliana the Veil, Lingering Souls, Abrupt Decay, and a Maelstrom Pulse. I'm going to assume McKaylee taking away the Lingering Soul. Well, no, because
then you can play it on turn 2.
Maybe
this Liliana is going to be troublesome, especially if Damien gets to tick it up and just discard a Lingering Souls. It's very strange where Liliana is actually quite good in Damien's deck. It's quite bad in McKaylee's deck for this matchup.
Absolutely.
But Lingering Souls stopping the sack effect from being good. Lingering Souls making the discard effect really good for Damien.
Yeah.
So it's very strange that.
Yeah. So we get to as well see.
Damien's just going to play with his hand up here to preserve a bit of time.
Yeah.
Make sure they don't have to write down each other's life totals because this is going to be a long game anyway.
Yeah. It's kind of a bit choked on green and white actually. So it's going to be pretty
This is big. No green mana here, and this Dark Confidant is going to take over this game.
Yeah, no coloured mana.
Yeah, that's no green. There's no removal spell you can play for that, and first activation of Bob, Season Ooze. The foiling is killing my eyes.
It's so shiny. Judge foil Bob into a into the promo Scavenging Ooze. Getting in for 2 there, doing what Bob does best. You take 2, I take 2, but I drew a card.
Yeah, Black Cleave Cliff Saver by McKaylee into a Tarmogoyf who is already a 1/2/3/4. And McKaylee being nice enough to show us the card's power.
Yeah, it's a 3/4. Let's make that dice bigger.
We need
Goyf is big. Goyf is big.
Can someone construct us some Goyf dice?
Okay, Scavenging Ooze it looks like from Damo, and just no 3rd land. I still think this was a fine keep from Damien.
I think this is a good keep, and with McKaylee's start, his 7 definitely would have been atrocious.
Yeah. There's the lightning bolt. McKaylee smelling blood in the water. He's like, I want to
lightning bolt basically doing 4 because of the guy pump as well.
Scavenging use numero duo. Numero dos.
Numero dos.
I went a bit Irish there. Numero do. Hena do.
In for 6 here, and this clock is very fast. Putting Damo down to 8, I think. 8 or 9. It's hard to see the phone there. Scavenging use coming down because why not?
He's on 9.
There's no rad effect here to punish the extension.
And there's a Rhino. That's no good.
Rhino no good. Lingering Souls could buy him a turn or 2, but no Lingering Souls. Bolt again, and that's
6. That's game.
That's the game. Unfortunate start there for Damo.
Damo is captain unlucky.
You can't fault him for his keep, but that's the risk. The list probably run close to 16, 17 green sources, and he just didn't get there.
Absolutely. So on McKaylee's sideboard, he has 1 Jund Charm. Excellent. 1 Duress, 2 Duress, 2 Choke, 1 Tassiger, 2 Ancient Grudge, 3 Fulminator Mage, 2 Grim Lavamancer, 1 Liliana the Veil, 1 Huntmaster the Fails. I kind of dig the Huntmaster.
Huntmaster, anything that creates a 2-for-1 without any effort in this matchup is going to be great.
Absolutely.
Huntmaster is excellent.
Fulminator Mage.
Tassiger is definitely excellent. The 1 mana threat. Grim Lavamancer might be a shout out as a answer to
kill some tokens.
Kill some Dark Confidence. But maybe not exactly where he wants to go. A lot of pressure already in his graveyard between Goyfs and Tassiger possibly coming in.
And of course, how many cards you're actually taking out. We can see here McKaylee, he looks like he's taking out 5 cards so far.
Fulminator Mage, also a card we're considering in this matchup. Killing manlands and keeping people off siege. Siege Rhino mana is something.
Wow, he's taking out like 6, 7 cards, 8 cards.
Yeah.
That's pretty surprising.
A lot of cards. If we look at his main deck, as we said, the Lilianas are pretty ineffective in this matchup. Yeah. There's a chance the Thought Seizes and Inquisitions are not the way you want to go. And the same with the Lightning Bolts. The Lightning Bolts actually kill surprisingly little.
Yeah, I saw him taking out some of those.
The Lightning Bolts just dealing with... I'm not sure if Damo even has that confidence because he's running Siege Rhinos.
Inquisitions, he's taking out 2 Lightning Bolts, he's taking out some Thought Seizes. Yeah, just some cards that he's just not a big fan of.
You still see a Lightning Bolt there in his deck. I wonder how many he wants to keep.
He took out 2.
Again, it's a hedge. You want to keep in some amount to deal with Scavenging Uses before they get big. But Scavenging Use can get out of that range fairly fast. Yeah. And just quite an effective removal spell all in all in the matchup. You're not erasing very often. That was a very rare case where he got to take a whole turn away from Damo of drawing a land. And also Lightning Bolt pretty bad when people are making 4/1/1 spirits.
Now did McKaylee do did he shuffle in his sideboard and then now he's just going to start taking out cards?
No. He put cards in his deck box.
Specifically he knows, okay.
Unfortunately, that's probably the right thing to do. But people are not bothered if they're not at GPs, you know.
What do you mean, putting in your whole sideboard and
taking out 50. It's a lot of effort. I don't think enough people in this tournament are getting an edge from knowing exactly how many cards are coming in and out. Especially in this kind of grindy matchup. There could be any amount of one-offs in McKaylee's sideboard that are hard to account for.
Absolutely.
But I would be very surprised if the Lilianas were still in McKaylee's deck off the board.
Me too.
The Huntmaster and Tassiger definitely look excellent. Jund Charm might be a good shout out because that removes the graveyard, correct?
Yes.
And Fulminator Mages, I wouldn't be surprised either. Taking out the townships is very important. Yeah. Taking people off Siege Rhino mana is pretty good. But they're probably a lot more effective on the play than they are to draw.
Yeah, absolutely.
So here we got opening 7s again. Let's see if Damo can keep it this time.
So he's got Lingering Souls, he's got Liliana the Veil, he's got some lands. His land situation looks better.
Is that a Disfigure in his hand as well? Keeping in Disfigure to deal with Naked Oozes and Dark Confidence, as we saw Dark Confidence definitely running away with the last game.
Absolutely. Gotta dig the Disfigure.
Oh, and that's a keep into turn 1 Thoughtseize. Exactly.
For myself, and
there we go. Exactly as predicted, the Fulminator Mage and the Jund Charm. But
shiny.
He has kept in the Liliana of the Veil, trying to see if he can push his advantage with that card.
Sure.
And Damo respecting it a lot and taking away that Liliana.
Yeah, wow.
Well, I don't think he has much fear for that Scavenging Use, which he has to Disfigure for.
Yeah.
And maybe, he has enough lands that he doesn't care about that Fulminator.
Yeah. That could be the case.
If he's just sitting on Tarmogoyf into removal spell here, you definitely want to be taking away that Liliana and not anything else.
Yeah. Surprising. The first thing I'd be doing if I saw that hand is reading what John Charm does.
Maybe he's well versed in this matchup. No, no Tarmogoyf for Dark Confident turn 2. Demo runs and Michaeli runs out Scavenging Ooze, which is going to be met by probably this Disfigure.
Yep, absolutely.
It's probably the best target you're going to get all game for this Disfigure.
1 mana, answer your Scavenging Ooze.
Swords to Plowshare and eat your heart out.
Gaining life. It's for scrubs.
Yeah, it doesn't even remove, so you got a good target for your own Scavenging Ooze. All upside.
Absolutely.
All upside.
So 15 plays 20 on Demo side of the field.
Yep.
So let's see now.
A Lingering Souls here. And this is the reason why I thought Liliana was coming out. A Lingering Souls turn 3 here by Demo.
Makes Liliana terrible.
Terrible is a harsh word for such a strong card, but definitely makes certain effective.
Awful.
Demo
unplayable.
being the first one to resolve his Liliana and discarding a Lingering Souls is also a big game.
Absolutely.
So we'll see here. That's a Vault of the Archangel, making those Lingering Souls
That touch life
little hornets.
Absolutely. They gain some life though.
Lingering Souls, Iber Ahane. Number 1. This is why I think the Abzan deck is slightly advantaged. These souls are hard to beat. Well, that Jund Charm is effective enough against them, the Pyroclasm effect. Well, Michaeli choosing the Stone Rain straight away and choosing a white source.
Yeah. That's what
white source over green source is an interesting shout out there.
See, it's kind of the thing of the deck has a lot of green sources, so you take away the white source because whatever they're splashing white for is worth it.
Yeah, but they have a lot of green cards. They'll have less white cards than they do green cards. Now, both of these mute points, as that's a Verdant Catacombs, and we'll search for whatever he wants. But mostly the play there is just keeping him off Siege right now.
Absolutely.
Again, Liliana here, absolutely amazing for Nemo, but he has chosen to get a green-white source. So he is not going to be able to cast Liliana with this turn.
Absolutely.
The mana base of both these decks are very greedy, and the Fulminator Mage in for Michaeli looking to punish that. Oh, and are we going to see a Tazagar here? Tazagar holding up in 2 mana.
Exiling the Lingering Souls, knowing about he's like, yeah, that Jund Charm, you're not going to get value out of it.
It's an interesting play because keeping open a colorless and a white, I'm not sure what he's representing. Oh, colorless and a green. That Vault of the Archangel's not doing much.
He should have paid the 1 vault and kept in his Lingering Souls.
He might have a Dismember in hand. There could be certain plays. Playing the Hierarch here kind of forces the hand on the Jund Charm though.
Yeah.
That Tazagar. Maybe he's also saying, I want to start activating Tazagar next turn if you don't Jund Charm. And I don't want any of these cards off my graveyard for it.
Absolutely.
Could be. We'll see. We'll see how this ends up.
The malleability of Tasker as well is so good, fitting into any black deck that has.
Oh, this is going to be big. And the Jund Charm, wipe the board.
Wipe your board.
Very good play here. This Fulminator Mage is also going to come back to bite Demo, I think, with only 2 cards left in hand.
Yeah. This is exactly what Jund wants to be doing, just grinding it out, getting some value wherever it can, playing very efficient creatures and threats.
Oh, Tarmogoyf, perfect answer to clearing of the board. Only creature in Demo's side, Planeswalker instant on Michaeli's side.
Is Jund Charm an instant or a sorcery?
Instant, as far as I know.
Yeah, I think all those charms are instant. Oh well, no, it's a 4/5, so there must be enough. It must be a sorcery.
Yeah, it must be. I guess Pyroclasm very strong at instant. Speed.
Yeah, it probably is.
And can we just get an answer? No, his own Tarmogoyf. Prettier than before.
Absolutely.
Is that the
foil one?
Michaeli's baby?
I don't think so.
Michaeli opened a foil Tarmogoyf in a box of Modern Masters and was more proud than most fathers I've seen. And passed back of a turn. No